Hey, what is going on, you riled up Rillaboom? I got some high-level action for y'all here today. It is the show match games from the stream that I put on the other day. We had Jake Gearhart with the Gardevoir with the Deoxys V-Star versus Isaiah Bradner with the Lostina with the Avery. So I put on a show match between these two players, a best of 9 Lostina versus Gardevoir. And it was really sick. It was a ton of fun, really high level gameplay as well, so I'm sure you're all going to enjoy that. To cover a few things real fast, if you want the deck lists, I'll leave a link to my tweet with the deck lists in them in the description, so check that out if you want the deck lists. Both players agreed to the other's deck lists and kind of talked that out beforehand, so they did agree to the 60 cards each of them brought. It is best of 9. They flipped for who went first in the first game, but after that, they decided that whoever went first in the first game, they would alternate from there. So I believe Isaiah went first in the first game, so Jake went first in the second game, so then Isaiah went first in the third game, so on and so forth throughout the series. At the end, I do have some interviews with Bradner and Gearhart, just talking a little bit about the matches and their decks, and kind of what they think about the decks and the matchups, kind of going forward, stuff like that. So be sure to check that out at the very least if you don't want to watch all the games. It is a lot of games. So quite a long video with quite a few games in it. Lots of great gameplay, and it was a ton of fun just sitting there, hanging out with chat and watching the games and breaking down the gameplay best I could for what I thought the player was going to do. They definitely did not do everything that I thought they were going to do throughout the games, and definitely some really cool, interesting lines of play came up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Before we jump into the action, though, I know y'all got a ton of bulk Pokemon TCG cards sitting around on your desk, under your desk, in your closet, under your bed, probably, and it's really easy to get rid of if you just go over to tcgbulk.com. They provide a service that connects people who want to get rid of TCG bulk cards, and you guys probably specifically have Pokemon TCG cards, to people who want to buy bulk TCG cards. So head over to bulktcg.com or go to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and download the app right now and get rid of your bulk cards you're not using anyways. Why don't you turn those bulk cards into some cash? And with that said, let's go ahead and let's jump into this action. And I guess before we do, I will be doing more streams, show matches like this, aiming for probably around once a month. So it'll be a little while until the next one happens, but be on the lookout for that as well. Let's get into it. Contemplation here from Bradner. Yeah, slow start. It's not dead in the water yet, though. There's like the chorus for the next turn. Yeah, you appreciate that raid there. Riot Town at TCG. I appreciate the 4 months there as well. Feel 100 bits coming in from Marky Mark. Appreciate that, Marky Mark. Go over to Jake. Jake's got quite a bit. Ooh, Jake's got a clean start here. And there's that Iono that I was mentioning. So Jake could go both routes here, I think. I think Jake could play for. Yeah, I think Jake has both routes here available, to be honest. Jake could play heavily for the Mirage Step, but also could play into... just a lot of basics, and is eyeing up that Manaphy aggressively here as well. It looks like a Mirage Step angle here from Jake. Price check-ins coming through. Appreciate the prime subs there. Hoover and Tabbyland. 4 months as well coming in from Torres. 100 bits coming in from Poop. Appreciate it all. Appreciate the prime sub as well there. Star Streak. Edwin with the 13 months. 2 months coming in from Pokemon. Welcome all to the pack. Welcome back to the pack. All the bread, but we got plenty of cheese. It's live or pre-recorded? Live. I wouldn't do anything. Pre-recorded is not entertaining. I wouldn't do anything pre-recorded. No. Would not catch me pre-recording anything. Catch me de-recorded, if anything. So looking up for the Ralts. So this looks like a Mirage Step angle here. I think if Jake wasn't going to Mirage Step here, we wouldn't have seen the aggressive Manaphy grab. I know, Jake is a big fan of Mirage Step. With such a slow start from Bradner, though, does Jake ever hold this hand? Oh, there's the Iono immediately. You could have held the hand here and Ultra Ball away the top deck plus the counter catcher to get the Curly and then play the Iono. Oh, no! The hand's not great from Jake. Oh, no, that's such a bad draw. Top deck. There's still time for a top deck, though. Hold on. I would not have hated to see Jake just kind of chill there, to be honest. And waited for the energy. I'm debating here from Jake, and does opt with the pass, doesn't bench that extra roll, so still playing for that Mirage Step, but needs a top deck to get there. remember to switch. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit probably... ooh, the Avery already here from Bradner. It's been found. The hard part about the Avery is finding it, to be honest. The hard part about the Avery is finding it. We're not using it this turn, of course. We're not using the Avery this turn. But we have it for next turn. We have it for the next turn. Yikes. Greninja did not find much, but hold up, the Colress is still there. I don't think Bradner's ever debating playing the Avery. The Avery feels pretty bad here. Just a Tina away from the Beseeching here for Bradner. It feels like Colress, I assume we'll be able to find a Tina off of 7 cards. Like more than 7, it's like 13. There's a Nest Ball. Immediately eyes up the Nest Ball. The Roxanne's got to be a pretty good option as well. I feel like we're definitely considering the Roxanne. Roxanne's so good in the late game. Switch cards are good. Jet Energy is also insanely good with, like, the Jet Energy is one of your best cards, but it looks like it might be going with the Switch card over the Jet. Really, that's interesting to me. I would assume the Jet would be grabbed here because we know we're using this Jet out of hand, so we know we have like a follow-up Jet for the following turn. Are we gonna be able to see Bradner's hand? You're currently looking at Bradner's hand. Goes for the Switch over the Jet. That's interesting to me. I feel like the Jet was like really good there. Especially because we're probably going to Greninja away that grass. So the energy attachment for turn would have been nice for the next turn as well. Tinas are there. I think it's the first time Bradner's actually getting to look through the deck. So do a little prize checking here for sure. Actually, there was some Pokemon prize for sure, right? Was it Sableye? Wait, was it like Sableye and Comfeys? The Comfeys were there. Sableye's prized. Sableye is prized. Now, of course, Jake doesn't know that, so the potential for the Jirachi still being played is still there. Like we could still see the Jirachi get benched here from Jake to like play around a potential Sableye that doesn't exist, but of course Jake doesn't know that. There's the Beseeching. There's the Colress for next turn. Another Jet, another Tina as well. The Tina's important. You definitely take one of the Colress here. It's like this feels like a lot of good cards in this Beseeching for sure. You could give up on the Colress. Giving up on 2 Colress feels pretty bad because you might be looking for that Avery next turn already here as Bradner. So you might be looking for the early or the turn 2 Avery, turn 3 Avery. Might be looking for the turn 3 Avery. He's thinking about double Colress. Really interesting. Okay, so it goes with just the draw power. He's up on the Tina, which you do need to find another Tina at some point. They need more than one Tina almost every single game here. Wait, was that... Oh, was that literally the Mirage Step top deck? Oh my gosh, it was literally the Mirage Step top. I didn't switch between the players in time, so we didn't get to see the top deck. My bad. I apologize for that. It's gonna take some getting used to for me to like be switching back and forth between these. Literally the perfect, not the perfect. I mean, an Iono might have been better there, to be honest. But you can't go wrong with the Mirage Step, I feel like. That was insane. I'm glad we saw it too, because this like keeps the game going big time here. Back over to Bradner. So just a top deck retreat Mirage Step here from Jake. Now we do have the Avery in hand here for Bradner. But if Bradner uses the Avery, there's no potential for the Greninja play, I don't think, this turn. So it's thinking about trying to save the Avery for a turn where you can actually threaten you want to save the Avery for a turn where you can actually threaten the Greninja. Going for the Water Energy because it wants the possibility of the Greninja play, of course. And then what else do you get? There's 2 The Pokegears are good later, but they don't guarantee anything or they don't do anything right now. No other Tina as well. So there's like a possibility this Tina gets KO'd next turn if it stays in the active. What were the other options here? Yikes. Oof. The Counter Catcher and the Gear. Counter Catcher's not great in this matchup. I think it's pretty okay. Counter Catcher's never bad, but doesn't feel great. Still has the Greninja though. We still have the concealed cards here for Bradner to find. Honestly, the thing I feel like we want here is just another Tina. A Comfey wouldn't be bad either. Maybe we even switch into it. Let's see. Now giving it some thought. is attaching for turn. Is it going to be the retreat to the cram? Are we ever not concealed cards in here? I feel like more cards is good. We have no basics. Just giving the attach for turn. It looks like is going to go for the cram hit. Oh, it has the switch into the cram hit. I guess that makes sense over the Abyss Seeking. Is going to use a path as well. Oh, there's no path bumps down from Jake quite yet. No concealed cards is definitely interesting to me here. Wants to preserve the energy, it looks like. We need to set up another Tina and Comfeys, I feel. Comfeys, to be honest, at a certain point, once you've gone through your deck enough, you don't need Comfeys anymore, to be honest. But if we're going to get Iono next turn, potentially, having a Comfey in play doesn't sound bad. Just going to go for the punch. So no Greninja use. Is also expending a path to the peak as well. And like I said, plenty of stadium bumps left for Jake. What is Jake's move here, though? Has plenty of draw power on board. Screamtail option, Cresselia option. Cresselia's not great, though, with a board with no Comfey. Maybe that's what Bradner was thinking about as well. Is like, if I put a Comfey down, is it just getting Cresselia? And honestly, the answer is probably yes. We do see the Collapse Stadium in hand immediately here for Jake. So we know there's an out to this path. We have the out to the path already. The out to the path is here. Ultra Ball and Fog Crystal. Immediately think about playing the Fog Crystal. It's an energy. It looks like that might be at least just one Psychic. One Psychic energy, I think, here is the only Psychic energy prized here from Jake. And I believe the 2 Triple Acceleration energy were in there as well. There's a Refinement. There's a Reversal. So we could just see a 150 hit here from Jake. We don't even have to use a Stadium Bump. I wonder if Jake ever, like, bosses the Tina and just punches Tina. Actually, does Jake have KO on Tina here? Jake might have KO on Tina here. And there's an energy hit off the... Now, the Cram... Wait, actually, will the Cram be able to make the comeback swing? Dude, someone do the math real fast. Yes, Cram would be able to return KO the Gardevoir Shiny Arcana. That's the question, then. Is it worth it? Or do you just KO this Cram with the Gardevoir? But then you're just going to get shredded on the clapback, probably. You're just going to get shredded back. Which, that's actually tough to deal with for the current board state, I feel like. For Jake. Does Jake ever just Cresselia the Tina on the bench? I think that's a possibility as well here, to be honest. Yo, appreciate the raid there, Ursaday. Hope you had a good stream. It's just a Curlia grab, so it looks like it's just going to be a punch here from Jake. The question is, like, what are we punching? KO the Cram? KO the Greninja? Punch the Tina? Probably punch the Tina, right? I feel like punching the Tina here, and is even already about to commit the counter catcher, and not use Refinement? Are we just not Refinementing here? What would you Refinement away as well, though? All these cards are so good. Feels like we maybe aren't using Refinement here, to be honest. And yeah, no Refinement with that last Curlia. That's tough. You really want to see those +2 cards. I do like this punch on this Tina, though. The punch on the Tina is nice for sure. Top deck Boss here. Or Bradner does have that Avery option. But I feel like the more and more the game develops past the Mirage step, the worse the Avery probably gets. Or like what Bradner will be able to do around the Avery gets more predictable. Goes with the Colress, though. Continues to hold on to the Avery. Immediately grabs the Comfey. Once again, like I said, though, as we thin out the deck more and more, Comfey gets worse and worse. Mirage Gates, I believe, are online. Actually, I think the Mirage Gates are actually a Comfey away from being online. There's a Psychic Energy right there. It's valuing the Jet and the Mirage Gate more, though. There's not that many energy in the Lost Zone yet, I don't think, for Bradner. I don't think we have too many. We have a couple Jets in the Lost Zone, maybe. Maybe just a Jet in the Lost Zone. I'm actually not sure. Take a look. Two Jet in the Lost Zone. So no basic energy in the Lost Zone yet, which are the big ones to be Lost Zoned. If you Lost Zone a Jet or two, it's like, it sucks because Jet are really sick, but then immediately into the Mirage Gate for that Psychic Energy. Only Psychic's in there, so not even going to get the value of the second energy. Although, if there was a second energy, would we get it? Where would we put it? I don't know. It looks like there's going to be a Psychic to the active Tina here. I assume. Just going to go with that Psychic to the active Tina. And the other water, the water is prized. So that's maybe what Jake is, or Bradner is waiting for as well, is to get the water off the prize cards to combo that with Avery and Greninja. But at some point, the Ionos are going to start hitting, and it's not going to matter as much. It's going to be harder to pull off that combo. I feel like you don't ever not bench the Comfey, because if the Cresselia KOs a Comfey, it's not KOing your Tina, which I think you're cool for. I think you like that. I think you're down for that for sure. So we do see the Comfey coming down here from Bradner. And then anything else to do? The gates were there off that Colress. Was it 3 Colress and an Abyss Seeking got us here? Switch card into the Comfey. Into a Flower Selecting. Okay, interesting. Did not use the Jet Energy. There's the Tina V-Star. We're not going to evolve this Tina to a V-Star. Also, there's no follow-up Tina. There's no follow-up threat of a Tina here from Bradner. You ever just cram punch the Gardevoir? I doubt it. But now do you Jet up to the active? I guess you could hard retreat the active here with an energy. Save the Jet. Maybe hard retreat that water. Jet to the Tina back to the active. Interesting. And it's actually going to go to the V-Star. It's going to be one less V-Star for the later Tinas. This is interesting here from Bradner. Now we have to Lost Impact. Now we are only getting rid of 2 Jets. I don't know about this. Lost Impact coming in. It is going to be like harder to knock out the Tina now. You do force like a Gardevoir EX instead of like a Cresselia KO, I guess, or like second reversal. We'll see the prize card here before we switch over. Is it the water? No, but it's a Super Rod, which is also pretty good. All right. Curly up here from Jake. RVX top deck is nice, but once again, still no great refinement targets. It almost feels like the boss or the Super Rod has to go down here. Yeah, I mean, that would be my bet. Super Rod seems pretty good, though. I don't even hate Super Rod recover before using refinement, because we could put the Shiny Arcana back into the deck and then draw into it off the Super Rod, possibly for more draw power. Also, like, Guardi EX Punch KO Tina here is also pretty clean here for Jake, I feel like. If we just go Guardi EX Slap, oh, that's pretty good. I think you can maybe getting rid of the boss here makes sense. Is now thinking about the Super Rod, I think. Bosses are also really important, though, to chase down the Tinas. And we do have like our play in hand here, I feel like, as Jake. I feel like Jake's play is just punch with Guardi EX, but does decide to preserve the Super Rod. Then doesn't play it beforehand to recover the Shiny Arcana. Potentially draw into that to then draw more off of this bench Curlia. Once again, not gonna... Thinking about it, though. And yeah, so it does go with the Super Rod in the end. Probably a turn late, but... Shiny Arcana. Do we ever get the Scream Tail here? Nope. Shiny Arcana, Ralts, Curlia. That makes sense to me. It looks good to me. You don't really want to draw into the Ralts or the Curlia, but you do potentially want to draw into the Shiny Arcana. Does that math actually line up? I don't know. Putting 2 dead cards in your deck for 1 live card. Hey, well, there's the Shiny Arcana. Is it the 1 Shiny Arcana? I don't know. And actually, he's going to evolve that in the active instead. Now that we have the reversal here, that is going to be our second reversal getting kind of used, though, because the Cram at the very... Oh, 2 Psychic off the top. How big is that? That feels pretty good. You could put both of those onto the Gardevoir. Or we're going to hold them. Put them both onto the active Gardevoir plus the reversal. And then you threaten a knockout next turn on the Cram by just attacking. I almost like both those going to the active here, so that way you don't have to use a Stadium Bump again, but does decide to just ship them both to the hand. Oh, I guess you do get to utilize the Ultra Ball. I guess that is the trade-off here. You do get a really good Ultra Ball here. Values the Ultra Ball use a little bit more here. Getting the Jirachi to stop the threat of a Sableye next turn. Sableye would be a threat. We know the Sableye is prized here for Bradner, but of course, Jake's not aware of that. Jake's not aware of that, so... Oh, instead, gonna go back to the Ralts. Unsure now. Is it Ralts or is it the Jirachi pick here from Jake? Jirachi to protect the bench. See, the scary thing is if you take the Ralts here and then Bradner goes KO your Curlia off the bench. The thing is now you have to evolve the bench Curlia to Guardi EX, or your bench Curlia potentially dies. So if you get the Jirachi here, you get to save the Curlia on the bench if you get the Jirachi here. But now you kind of have to evolve it to protect it from the potential of the Sableye. There's the knockout. Deoxys V-Star. I don't know how relevant that's going to be in the matchup, but I guess we'll see. Back over to Bradner. Double Roxanne in hand, but can't use them yet, of course. The Roxannes are not possible to use. Roxannes, you can't use them yet. 1 prize away. And that's going to be an interesting choice here coming up for Jake. Do you put yourself in Roxanne range or not? It's going to be a big question for Jake. Do we put ourselves in Roxanne range or not? Flower selecting start here from Bradner. There's no... Ooh, gotta go with the... Oh, goes with the Comfey? I feel like we gotta go with. I was gonna say we gotta go with the path here, right? This is like one of our win conditions, but maybe it's gonna. Maybe it feels like we need to see more cards here, which is reasonable. Actually, I don't even know how many Colvers are left for Bradner. Might just be one. Is there like 3 in the discard? I feel like there is. I can't quite see the discard, but I feel like there is only 1 left. The Pokegear hitting is like unlikely. It also could be prized. Debate is happening. Is valuing the draw power this turn, it looks like. Goes with the Comfy. Oh, but then he's going Pokegear first here. The Boss. Now, Boss can still get a KO here for Bradner. We could see a Boss Cram knockout. Yeah, it does value the draw power there, which I don't hate because if Bradner only has 1 Comfy in play, that sounds like a good turn for... That sounds like a good time to Cresselia as Jake. Just Cresselia, KO the Comfy. Yeah, sounds like it'd be a good what's it called there from Jake. Yeah, going back to it a little bit, to be honest, I almost feel like we maybe should have seen an earlier Avery from Bradner. Here's the Boss. No, it's debating it again. No Boss. There's the second Comfy. There's the Boss. Goes for the Ralts. Okay, so we're going for a Ralts knockout here, it looks like. With the Cram. No Tina in play. There's no Tina in play here from Bradner. Doesn't use the Super Rod. Let's see what the prize is before we switch back over. Let's see what Jake is going to do as a response. There's 2 really good prize cards here. The Water Energy is becoming less and less good, to be honest. The Sableye would have been good, but that's a Battle VIP pass. That's about as bad as it gets. And there was a prize card drawn, so this Reversal Energy is active again, which is like maybe something Bradner shouldn't have taken a knockout there, because now the Reversal is active again for Jake. Although this will, if Jake does attack here and take a prize card this turn, that will turn on the Roxanne's for Bradner. Bradner also has an 11 card hand here, so Jake has to know. Jake's like, yeah, you're gonna have what's it called going into this next turn. You're gonna have the Roxanne. Almost certainly, the Roxanne will be available in this next turn. Could play Level Ball first to thin out the deck of like a Ralts or the Jirachi, I guess. There's 2. The Deoxys is there, and there's not that many threats on the board here from Jake, so I wouldn't hate to see this. Deoxys come down. There's a Level Ball as well. Thinking about it anyways. I mean, I think at the very least you'd want another Ralts here if you don't value the Jirachi that highly. Oh, there's not another Ralts in the deck. Now, thinning out the deck is still good, though. But I guess, to be honest, knowing this, the Level Ball probably should have been played beforehand, unless like we're trying to keep around the Level Ball as like Ultra Ball fodder. Jirachi coming down to protect the bench, so we're fully protected. Got the Manaphy for the Greninja, Jirachi for the Sableye. The only thing that's not it's not protected. The only other thing we'd want here, I think, as Jake would be an Iono. Here, because unless you just don't take a knockout here as Jake, which I could see as well. Maybe Jake just shouldn't take a knockout here. Because then you put, yeah, and not going to take the knockout. Love to see it. Doesn't turn on the Roxanne's for Bradner, making Bradner, but of course, Bradner's not doing nothing. This Cram going to be swinging next turn at the very least. The Avery here is looking pretty good too for Bradner. And this gives Bradner time to kind of find those Tinas. There's one Tina. There's a V-Star. Nest Ball for another Tina. And now we got to see what Jake chooses to get rid of off of this Avery. I was going to say the Manaphy probably not needed anymore. There's not really that many liabilities on the bench for the Greninja to take advantage of. So we see that go, of course. And then we still have, and then Cresselia gets discarded as well here from Jake. So that's like something that Bradner has to worry about a little bit less. Now the question for Bradner is, what else do we do for the rest of our turn? I would say you probably, actually, to be honest, with the Boss being gone, no, Countercatcher is still live here, actually. There's a Countercatcher and a Boss gone, I believe, here for Jake. There's one Countercatcher left. So Countercatcher is live here for Jake. So that makes me feel like that, kind of makes me feel like we need to get 2 Tinas down here as Bradner, because we don't want to get Countercatcher knocked down and lose our only Tina in play, I feel like. It makes me feel like we want to get 2 Tinas down on this turn. We could, like, it would be interesting, I guess, like, well, we can't wait too long as Bradner. The longer you wait to bench the Tinas, the more likely it is that Jake finds Iono, and it's going to be really hard to get the Tinas in play here. So, really hard to get the Tinas in play here. All right, second Tina coming out. Gates left, Rod left, 2 Tina V-Stars left. Of course, we have both Roxannes as well. And yeah, Jake can't sit here for forever. This Cram is going to keep swinging and swinging and swinging. Is Jake's list somewhere? Both lists are on my Twitter right now. If actually someone could make a command in the chat real fast that just links to the tweet with the list, that'd be sick. So that way people can find the lists. But yeah, just go to my Twitter, exclamation point Twitter, and you'll be able to find it. My latest tweet has both of the deck lists. Also, if mods feel free to have free reign. If someone is like harping on the fact of stream sniping or anything like that and they're just being annoying, just time them out. We don't have to put up with it. If they do it again or complain about the timeout, just ban them for now. I might ban them, unban them later. I'll think about it. Mirage Gate onto the... Are we seeing a shred here? Or just getting energy in play to be set up around the possibility of an Iono, actually, it looks like. Star Requiem is available with just a Psychic and an Evolution right now, so... And then here comes that Cram hit. Playing it slow, taking it slow. Got the Avery value off. Jake playing around the Roxanne, but you can't play around Roxanne forever. There's a worker top deck, but I feel like we want to save those to be able to play around the Roxannes. I think we're looking for... There's that Iono! Is this the point where Jake kind of pulls the trigger and starts swinging? Still has 4 prize cards to draw. Has a decent amount of 2 prize Pokemon in play now as well. Party EX. And then here comes the Collapse. I assume a Comfey is just biting the dust here. So if with the Collapse, I'm assuming an Iono is coming out and not the worker. There it is, Collapse. I assume that the Comfey has to be the thing that gets discarded here. Greninja, I guess, is also a possibility. I take that back. Greninja's also... If there's like no energy left or not that much energy left, but then it's really hard to have the threat of the Moonlight Shuriken. We know the water energy is prized, but like having that threat and keeping that threat there and making Jake play around the threat of that is important for sure. And here comes the Iono. Gonna hit Bradner pretty hard. Bradner had all the good stuff in the hand right there. Oh, wait, the counter catcher is still live. Counter catcher is live. I think you see it here from Jake. Just counter catcher, KO the Tina with the 2 energy. That's got to be the play here, right? I can't think of anything. You could... What else could you do? Attack with Deoxys and do 190 plus 60 to the bench Tina. Still stay away from the Roxanne. We could just go for the knockout with the Shiny Arcana as well, though. I don't know. Yeah, Bradner, or not Bradner. Jake could still continue to play this pretty slow. There's no draw power in the hand here for Jake as well. Something to mention. So maybe you value the Shiny Arcana and you go take the knockout with the Deoxys. With the V-Star power from the Deoxys. Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. 4 energy on the Deoxys. Yeah, that definitely has to be the play, right? The Deoxys KO here actually, I feel like, is with the V-Star power. You don't have to put 4 energy on the Deoxys. You have to put 2. Just 2 energy. Maybe you put 3 just so you can attack with it under Path, though. If you get Roxanne Path. Yeah, you can just use 2. You could do the 3rd. Like I said, you could put the 3rd there just in case. So you can, like, snipe. You can attack under Roxanne Path if it doesn't get return KO'd immediately. I don't see a reason not to. You're either KO'd or you're KO'd. The extra energy there doesn't seem like a big deal. Jake even going as far to actually load up some energy on the Shiny Arcana Gardevoir as well to be able to have that be a response to the Tina. Okay. Sucks to lose reversal, but this is 100% the better play. Well, if the Deoxys get KO'd, reversal is back online. So we're not... The reversal is still like right there. Yeah, Jake heavily playing around Path to the Peak. And is thinking about that 3rd to the active as well, just to have that option. Like I said, if you get Roxanne Path, the Deoxys can still be attacking. There's the counter catcher, and it is going to be the V-Star. I assume we're going to see the V-Star here. The 190 or 170, 90 snipe, or 190, it is 190, I thought it was 170. 190 plus 60 snipe would be interesting. We'll check a look at these prize cards before we see how Bradner is going to handle this. It's not looking good for Bradner. This is looking pretty good, I feel like. Got the Mew, kind of irrelevant. The Artisan, of course, is going to be nice. It's a stadium bump. Oh boy. Not many options here for Bradner. 2 prize cards left now, of course. And no gust effects. I guess we should mention that as well. There's no gust effects left here for Jake. So Jake can't pressure the win next turn. There's no way for Jake to win the game next turn if there's not a 2 prizer left in the active here. So Bradner, I think, is thinking about just like pushing Cram and punching with Cram probably. Versus do you push with Comfey and try and find that Roxanne? Okay, there it is. Comfey's up. Another Comfey off the top. I'm sure that's not what Bradner wanted to see. Wanted Nest Ball for that Comfey and top deck anything else. Because we have access to the Comfey through the Nest Ball. So the last thing you want is a Comfy top deck there, I assume. I guess this Nest Ball can now go get a Tina, which maybe you need. I guess having another Tina is like, okay. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Yeah. I think Bradner's debating whether or not to play the Nest Ball first. Does play it to shuffle the deck. Now we know the Iono did put a lot of good cards on the bottom of the deck. There's the Gates, the Energy, Super Rod's in the hand. So one of them is in the hand, which is a big part as well. Because if you just see all your good cards off Comfy, that kind of sucks. So we already have a big piece in the hand in the Super Rod. And now is debating taking the Manaphy or not. Because if you take the Manaphy, it's not in the deck. But then you don't have bench space for another Comfy. We'll see about that. Thinking about it. Yeah, really putting the thought in. It's a big, like, do you want to bench this? I don't know how many, there's only one switch left. I don't know how much you're going to want to go into the other Comfy. I guess the biggest thing would be, like, if you get the Psychic Energy, you'd maybe retreat to the other Comfy and pass, or use that and then, like, pass after. The Switch and the Psychic. Well, we're definitely going to the other Comfy here. I feel like at this point, it's just going to be attached to Comfy, retreat to Comfy. And that's why we left the bench space open. That is why we left the bench space open there, for the potential to get into another Comfy. And it did work out here for Bradner for that. Or we got the Greninja, actually. Just concealed cards just better. Actually, concealed cards is just better, isn't it? But now we can't do both, I guess, because it's our last energy. Okay, we got the Roxanne, we got the Colress. Are we all in right now? We're going Roxanne. Once again, Bradner knows there's no Gust effects left for Jake. I believe 2 Counter Catcher and the boss, I believe, are gone. And Jake, I believe, said all the Gust, or I believe all of Jake's Gust effects are gone. So because of that, we don't have to Roxanne this turn as Bradner. We know our Tina is safe, but it could start to get poked. Hit for 60 from the Deoxys. Scream Tail could hit it. We don't really want any of that. None of that's really good. We don't like that. I guess that would be good. That's another good question. Do we Rod before the Roxanne, or do we just Roxanne and hope to draw into the Rod? Because we do want to see other stuff besides energy. We even bench this Comfy. Does go with the Comfy bench. But I feel like if we're benching the Comfy here, we're playing the Roxanne. We'll see, though. Maybe Bradner is just going to play the Colress this turn and then go Roxanne path guaranteed next turn. Nope, all in on the Roxanne. Doesn't play the Super Rod. Wants to increase the odds of drawing back into that plus other cards. The Gates are there, but so are the Battle VIP passes. No Super Rod, just going to be a pass. Once again, Jake has no Gust effect, but this is exactly what Jake wanted to see. How aggressive does Jake get here, though? Got the knockout on the active. Could play towards Scream Tail or Cresselia to close out the game on the next turn. Double Iono as well. We're going to be able to reset that big hand of Bradner's. Now, Bradner, luckily for Bradner, I guess, fortunate for Bradner, Bradner didn't draw into the other Roxanne. So when this Iono is going to come through, we have the possibility to draw into that second Roxanne of Bradner's here. And then, once again, go for that Roxanne path play. Again, no path this time, unfortunately, for Bradner. But we'll have another chance on this next turn. Should be able to get into the Roxanne on this next turn. And doesn't even really have to use Comfy to dig for it. If we just naturally draw into it, you can kind of maybe push Tina and go. Still looking pretty rough here, though. Looking pretty rough here for Bradner. Does opt to get the Manaphy back. There's a decent amount of... or the Greninja has a decent amount of threat on this current board, I guess. Is this ever a situation where... does Jake ever choose not to attack here? I feel like the answer to that is no. I think we're always attacking here as Jake. Do we ever not attack here, though? I almost want to, like, switch POVs just to see... the hand's dead here for Jake. But you have to know you're probably getting Roxanne if Bradner draws into Roxanne. Oh, the big debate here is we're putting more energy in play. And the answer apparently is yes. More energy is coming into play here onto the bench Guardy. And that does get it, like, in range to knock out Tina once it comes to the active with that extra energy in hand right now. So the 60 damage to the bench is actually going to be a pretty big deal on that Tina. I appreciate the raid there, Amy. Hope you had a good stream. I think Jake had, like, I think we're locked into the ability, right? Like I said, the debate was the Guardy EX. I guess that would have been a possibility. The Guardy EX could have got gusted into the active and trapped. It does want the ability to be able to move everything on board here from Jake. And here is the that's what I was saying. Do we ever not attack here? Jake, I feel like we attack here though. Do you ever not attack though? Leave the Comfy in the active. Make or to retreat. Is the retreat an option here? Is that ever a consideration? That one feels a little goofy. I don't know about retreating here. That feels a little goofy. For sure. All right, there's the punch. Let's see what the prize card is before we get back over and see how Bradner can handle this. Ralts, that's not going to do a whole ton immediately, if ever. Over to Bradner. No Roxanne. Counting the energy on the Gardevoir here. I think maybe looking for a Gust, Jirachi, Gust, Manaphy out. Now, the Roxanne is right there, though. There was a 7-card deck. I owned a 3. Top deck 4. Comfy sees 5, 6. So, yeah, the Roxanne is literally right there for Bradner. So if it's not here, the Comfy should see it. But is that even enough? I don't even know if that's enough. I don't even know if seeing this Roxanne is going to be enough. What is Bradner even thinking about here? I feel like I guess you could hope that they Iono themselves into a dead hand, but I feel like the Roxanne has to be a part of the comeback here, I feel like. Oh, the Roxanne and the Super Rod, no! Oh, I guess that's another thing. We need the Super Rod to not be there as well. We need the Super Rod to not be there. The Super Rod had to be the 3rd card, but I don't even know what that 3rd card is. That 3rd card could be pretty good as well. The 3rd card could be really good as well, actually. I don't actually know what the 3rd card is, but we definitely need a Roxanne and Super Rod to not be together there. I think that's for sure. We need to draw into like one of those off of this Iono here. This is a pretty unfortunate sequence here at the end, and actually goes for the Super Rod here. Once again, I don't see a win condition here for... And, oh, are we going to see the first dub go over to Jake? Game 1, there's the concede coming in from Bradner, and Jake takes... game number 1 in our best of 9. I'll put best of 9 in the title. I forgot to put best of 9 in the title. Compared to Bradner's start, it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure Jake is not a huge fan of putting Greninja in play in this matchup. Does have 3 energy in hand. Oh, and there's the VIP pass off the Greninja. So we're still looking like a Mirage Step angle is going to be happening here. Back to the pack there. Ali. Appreciate the 6 months. I think we're still looking at a Mirage Step angle here, unless it's prized. Take a look here. Nope, there's the Mirage Step. Oh, only 1 Refinement Curly in the deck. There is 1 in hand, so 1 is prized. Maybe just an aggressive Ralts setup here from Jake then. We'll see. I don't know how many Ralts were in the deck as well. There might have been a Ralts prize as well. 7 months coming in from Rix. Appreciate that, Rix. Also, does the Deoxys ever get put into play early here? Is that like an aggressive angle we look for? I don't know. Double Ralts. And then a level ball being played as well, not saving it for the Curly. I think that means we're going for an aggressive Ralts angle here then. Oh, there's a Ralts prize as well? This just kind of sucks. This just kind of sucks here, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if it sucks more than Bradner's hand. Yeah, I don't know if this sucks more than Bradner's hand, but prizing a Ralts and a Curlia, you know, that's not what you want to see. I'll say that. It's not what you want to see. Yeah. But, I mean, I think Bradner's hand is going to balance this out. Also, we're going first here as Jake, so how much can we really complain on Jake's side of the table? I don't think very much. Still has the potential of the Mirage Step as well here with this attachment. We can still get off the Mirage Step next turn. Definitely possible. Definitely possible to do it. And there's the pass. Like I said, Bradner's hand did not look good. It did not improve either. Oh my gosh. This might be a quick 2-0 start for Gearhart, but it's a long series. The best of 9. Long, many games to play here. That's a tough one, though. Do you even play the Nest Ball? I don't know. Do you play the Nest Ball here as Bradner? Maybe. I could see it. I could see us playing the Nest Ball here. Thin out the deck of the Comfy to increase our odds of top decking something else. If we top deck like an energy... Well, if we top deck an energy, we want a Abyss Seeking, but then maybe just get another Tina. We're not really afraid of getting turn 2 knocked out here, I don't think, as Bradner. Yep, it's going to be the pass. Back over to Jake. Big opportunity to start swinging. Honestly, we could just start slapping with the Scream Tail. Ooh, going into the concealed cards with that Psychic. I don't think we want to use the reversal to retreat into a Mirage Step, but I think Jake does want a Mirage Step here. Actually, that was a curious choice there, to be honest, from Jake, because I thought we were just going to see Refinement into retreat Mirage Step for 1 Refinement. That's what I thought we were going to see here from Jake, but instead it's getting more aggressive. Drew into the other Refinement. Now, at this point, I think we're committed, right? We're not. There's no stepping happening. No one's stepping. I'm not stepping. You're not stepping. Jake's definitely not stepping. So now we're just fully committed, seeing as much cards as possible. There's the level ball. That's pretty good, though. Get all 3 Curlias into play. He's debating even the worker play, but do you really need to be that aggressive here? I don't know. I don't know if we want to use a worker. Oh, Jake wants to get that aggressive, though. The worker comes down. So, honestly, the slap from the Screamtail, I kind of dig it. That 30 damage can add up fast. Look out. There's a Mirage Step. Of course, we're not going to use Mirage Step. We're just going to evolve it into play. Also, well, actually, to be honest, and then here comes the slap from the Screamtail. Yeah, that 30 damage matters. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Jake sits here. Well, if it's Lone Tina next turn, I think Jake's going to get that dub. Yeah, if it's Lone Tina next turn, I think Jake's going to be closing it out, but... Oh boy. All right, Battle VIP best top deck. Still has this nest ball here. I feel like we need to see a top deck this turn, to be honest. Now I think things are slipping a little bit too far away. I guess the big thing here is the Guardi EX can KO the Tina on the next turn, to be honest. Sheesh, what does it have to be here from Bradner? Gonna go for the Comfy. I think it has to be it. Makes sense to me. Go for the Comfy here. Your Tina gets knocked out by a Guardi EX. Hopefully the Comfy finds you a Chorus. Ooh, 2 Chorus prize. That's where they're at. They're hiding. And then if Bradner can, like, stumble his way into the Roxanne turns, it's possible we could see a comeback. We're a ways away from the Roxanne still. Yeah, Bradner needs to, like, stumble his way into the Roxanne turns, and then, like, then there's hope. There's hope. We can stumble our way into the Roxanne turns. That's what we're looking for here. Gonna be the Comfy doing the prize check, of course. Give him some time to do the prize check. The only timer in these matches is what PTCG Live says. Yeah, and even exhaust the timer there. Bradner maximizing his time, his prize checking time there. Actually, I didn't even know that's how that worked. We see the Manaphy to come down. Ooh, I don't know if I like that path play from Bradner, to be honest. I feel like we want to hold that to get cheesy with the path later. I feel like, to be honest, I think Jake would be content with slapping again. So, but we see the Manaphy come down to protect the Comfy from the Screamtail snipe. And goes as hard as possible into protecting the Comfy here, playing the path. Trying to prevent the knockout here, but with the hand this big, with this much draw power on board, I feel like saving the path maybe would have been better. Maybe you're trying to burn through. Maybe you're trying to burn through some of the stadium bumps here from Jake, though, as soon as possible. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Card draws coming in. There's the worker. Do we do the worker here, though? I don't even know. I don't know if the worker makes its way out. Is it going to be some slap action? I feel like going for the KO here with the Guardi EX. I mean, I would be hard-pressed to not go for that personally. But we see some more restraint here from Jake. Honestly, I think going aggressive here just makes sense, though. I think you just want to start swinging. Like, do you really want to play to let... You really want to play to let Bradner get ahead first in these kind of situations? I feel like these are situations where you take advantage of your early starts here. It looks like Jake agrees, but is debating. Oh, I guess we haven't played a supporter yet. Worker versus Collapse versus Artisan. How do we want to move this path if we're going to go for the swing here? And did we set up the Deoxys now as well? I like the Deoxys setup as well. Get the potential of the V-Star online. Draw some more with Greninja now. So I think we are going to see this Guardi EX swing here. Another Shiny Arcana as well. We could get some more draw power cooking. Now, do we want to leave this bench space open for the potential of the Manaphy or the Jirachi? Possibly. Yeah, I like this. I like this swing here. I don't think we want to play it too slow. I do think you do want to take your time in this matchup. Sometimes you don't want to just give them Roxanne or give them Counter Catcher. On both sides. I feel like the Tina player is usually the aggressor, and you don't really have a choice of not giving the Guardi player as much. Sometimes you can kind of pass. But I think the Guardi player more often than not wants to be the one that's kind of passing. There's a 190 hit. Not going to establish the Deoxys, although I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea of the establish of the Deoxys. Maybe you could even load up some energy. Only one in the discard pile. Not that much to load up, I guess. Let's see what is pulled off the prize cards here. Does it matter? Cresselia is pretty good. Iono is also... Well, in this situation, honestly, the Ionos aren't that good. Cresselia is pretty good, though. Nestball top deck here from Bradner. I would probably say you probably play that before using flower selecting here. You want to maximize your odds of getting a Colress. And with that, you probably just get another Comfey, because the chances are you get something off this Comfey that could let you use the other Comfey. Yeah, honestly, I just like to see another Comfey off this Nestball, I think. And then we're trying to do some Roxanne shenanigans on the following turn. Now let's keep the Nestball. There's a Water Energy and a Jet. Could see Comfey off that plus Jet. Could get the Water Energy and use Greninja instead. Getting access to 2 cards versus building up your Lost Zone a little bit more is the question. We still have an out to a Colress this turn. That's the most important thing here. I guess you could Abyss Seeking as well here. But Abyss Seeking here, that's going to put you so far behind. The Roxanne will be online next turn, but that feels like it's like a tough mountain to climb. Also, giving up the water means no more threat of Greninja. Yeah, no more threat of Greninja here. And is just going to go for the Abyss Seeking, so we're going to give up another 2 prize cards to Jake here. I don't think Jake is going to not take the knockout on this Tina with Gardevoir next turn. We will have access to Roxanne on the following turn. Is that going to be enough to make a comeback? I don't know. We're going to find out. There is still at least 1 Path to the Peak. There's 2 Path to the Peak left in the deck as well. So finding one of those would be a good start as well. But to be honest, like, Path at that point isn't going to do enough. I guess you'd be able to get access to Cram. With this Abyss Seeking, you'll have enough left in the Lost Zone to be able to make it so Cram can actually knock out the Shiny Arcana and get the return KO. The Cram is in there as well. I think final price check in here. There's the time expire. And then I assume we're going to see a Jet up. It'd be really weird to get this Tina with the Jet in hand and then boss pass. That'd be weird. Do you ever boss here? I guess could be a question. Do you just hope for a Hail Mary boss? Maybe there's not an energy in the 17 card hand there from Jake. Pretty unlikely, of course. Counter catcher's going to be pretty big for a comeback potential here. So that makes sense to grab. Greninja for draw power potentially. I mean, you're not going to need the Tina V-Star or the Grass Energy. The Grass Energy, of course, you might want, but yeah, it feels like Greninja counter catcher's got to be the play here. Build up this hand a little bit more. I guess one thing for Jake here is you're definitely thinking about Roxanne. Do you ever play an Iono here as Jake to play around Roxanne? I don't hate it. You know that Bradner has built up this hand over the last couple turns with the purpose of leading towards a Roxanne play. You know Roxanne is on the mind here for Bradner. So do you play Iono to potentially disrupt that? It goes from a 7-card hand to a 6-card hand. Not that big of a difference, to be honest. Actually, at this point as well, I feel like Jake maybe should have got rid of the reversal energy and started attaching the basic psychic, actually. And build up an attacker with basic psychic energy. I actually don't even know if I like that. The reversal, I feel like, should have bit the dust there, actually. Maybe you keep it in the deck to retreat, but I feel like we want to attach the raw psychic energies from our hand to turn to places. I guess you could still put the reversal on the active Guardi EX here, and then we're just an energy attachment away from still attacking with Guardi EX. So we could do that, I guess. That's a good hit. Should it go to this Guardi, though? Go to the other Guardi. Maybe there's enough for the other Guardi to get the knockout on the Tina here. I assume we're knocking out the Tina here. I'm kind of just assuming. Maybe Jake just chills and punches the Tina here with the Guardi EX and has like the Shiny Arcanas on the bench loaded up. Spread out a couple energy, maybe bench Cresselia. That's an option. Do we ever just Cresselia KO the Comfey? That doesn't seem very good. I think just KOing the Tina here still feels pretty good for Jake, and it is available. The KO looks like it is available here. Once again, we don't have to play around. Burns Level Ball here. We don't have to play around Greninja anymore. A water did go to the Lost Zone, and both players know each other's lists. So Jake knows there's no water energy left. Giltina bench Deoxys. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I'd maybe even go as far as to like load up some energy on the Deoxys as well if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible though. You just need threats at this point. If you just have enough threats at this point, there's not going to be enough of like, it's going to be so hard to make a comeback as long as you have threats under path. So if you just like load up a couple attackers here as Jake, you should just be in a ridiculously good spot. Maybe we see some more energy hits off Shiny Arcana. That's also possible. Now we see some stuff making its way to the field. Also like maybe Ultra Balling away some of these dead cards, like Ultra Ball away the counter catcher and the Manaphy. There's the retreat, so it is going to be the Shiny Arcana knockout. Like I said, I don't hate the Iono here. It's not freeing up a whole ton of cards from Bradner's hand. But you know, Bradner's hand doesn't have a Colress. So it's a 7-card hand without a Colress. But it could. It could have a Roxanne. And that's like the bigger thing here. Is like it could have a Roxanne. Some energy making its way to the Deoxys. And then we do need a couple more energy on the active. It's interesting that Jake didn't just put 3 on the active. What is leaving this thing with 100 HP? What's the difference between 100 HP and... What the heck is the difference between 100 HP and 80 HP? It's the same thing at this point, right? I guess Greninja, but the water energy's in the loss zone. So I feel like we should have 20 less damage on our Deoxys here. Right? I think so. There's the hit. Also, yeah, didn't use the Curly on the bench, which I'm sure could have been used. Also, once again, I would have liked to have seen that Ultra Ball be played. Just thin out some dead cards out of the hand. I would like to see the Ultra Ball be played. Yeah, definitely use that Curly to thin out some more cards. I don't think we're afraid of decking out. All right, Roxanne is here for Bradner. Is this going to be enough? Probably not. Let's find out, though. Greninja's going to come down. I don't think we're playing the counter catcher here. I think we want to actually KO this active Guardy here for Bradner with the keep the Ultra Ball for Deoxys V-Star. Ultra Ball's just really bad. The thing with Ultra Ball, though, is it's just such a bad draw under Roxanne. And also, there's 2 other dead cards you could draw into now. I still would like to... I know the Ultra Ball can find the Deoxys, but you need more than just the Deoxys. I don't know. I still think I would like to have seen the Ultra Ball just get played. Thin out the dead cards for sure. Like, options are good, but only if you can utilize them consistently. And we have to play like Roxanne's coming here as Jake. We have to be like, all right, Roxanne's coming. How do we handle it? All right. Here we go. Steal cards, getting rid of the water, of course, because the other water's already gone. No Cram yet. We don't need just Cram here, though, as Bradner. I feel like we need Cram and Tina. Flower selecting's in. Oh, my goodness. All right. There's still potential here. It's pretty rough. This is pretty rough. Opts for the gate. There's only 2 in the loss. Actually, maybe we get the energy here. Yeah, it does flip back to the energy there. Attach where, though? Is it Comfey Retreat to Manaphy? The classic. Comfey Retreat to Manaphy. You love to see it. Well, Jake loves to see it. But this is why we're doing a best of 9. Because, of course, there's going to be some awkward draws. No awkward draws so far from Jake, to be honest. A couple awkward draws from Bradner. Tina, a very powerful deck, but not the most consistent deck. And it's definitely showing here in this game. All right, no path. Plenty of draw power actually to work with as well here for Jake. Now we got the V-Star in the hand as well. Get a refinement off. Draw some cards with the Shiny Arcana. What are you even looking for here is... Are we just attacking with Deoxys here? I feel like Jake is just attacking with Deoxys here. I feel like we're going to retreat to Deoxys, put an energy on it, knock out the Manaphy, and then go from there. And there's the Deoxys Evolve. No energy in the discard pile, but some would end up in the discard pile off of the Shiny Arcana Retreat. Once again, could play this Ultra Ball here as well. Just get rid of the Jirachi, get rid of the Cresselia, thin those cards out of the deck. The only way you lose this is Roxanne. So just getting dead cards out of your deck kind of makes sense here for Jake. Just get rid of them. Potentially. Cresselia still could be cool to close out the game. Jirachi probably not going to do a whole ton. Although the Jirachi is like a way to stop a potential comeback from Bradner. Because Bradner could go Roxanne, Path, Counter Catcher, start using Sableye, and then lead to kind of a long time of Sableye comebacks. That'd be tough. All right, almost all the energy in play here. Not going to play the Ultra Ball. Not going to play the Iono. Although I think I would like to have seen the Iono here. The Roxanne got played. -1 card. The hand is being set up around potentially using Roxanne again. Let's see what happens. There's a knockout. Going down to 1 prize card. What do we got? VIP pass. Very cool. Back over to Bradner. Hands, like, got a good cards, but... Oh, the Cram! He's a turn late, bro. Every time. You appreciate the 48 months there, Omar. Oh, my gosh. You hate to see it. Every time, though. Predictable. Cram is a turn late here. Lots of switch cards as well off this Greninja. Honestly, maybe it's best this one is just fully going out the window. There's a concede. Game 2. goes over to Gearhart. 2-0 start in this long best of 9. Dude, Bradner was definitely taking a long sigh there before putting the Manaphy in the active. All right, let's see a VIP pass top deck. Come on, one time. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so ridiculous. Dude, it's gonna have to be a crazy comeback. This is gonna need, oh my gosh. How's it looking for Gearhart? Oh, I was gonna say not that good, but then I saw the VIP pass. I saw the Mirage Step. Not looking too shabby, actually. The way I would categorize this one. How many refinements are in the deck? Loading up on the Ralts. Ooh, did prize a refinement. So, could be better. Oh, I don't have the scoreboard thing over here. Hold up. I'll get it when I go back to the other one. Okay, couple Ralts. Couple Ralts getting grabbed. Looks like play around. Yeah, I mean, you just want to set it up. I know, like I said, Jake, I don't think likes getting Greninja in this matchup. I think tuned into the coaching or the training, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it coaching. Jake's pretty good at Guardy. But playing some games with James Cox the other day on James's stream. Teleportation Burst. Get that 10 on the Manaphy. Hey, that's 10 damage. That's a easier Cresselia KO later in the game. All right, Teleportation Burst, 10 damage. One over to Bradner. All right, can we get a top deck, please? Can we get a top deck for Bradner? We need something here. Okay, we're in business. We're here. We're here. Love to see it. Goes with the switch card, healing that 10 damage. I don't know how relevant healing the 10 damage is going to end up being. It could be relevant, could not be. Maybe we wish we had retreated, but we get Greninja. Hey, there's a Colress. Okay, hold on, hold it. We're in this one. Maybe Bradner's a little bit disappointed that there's a boss to go with it, but you're definitely taking the Colress here. We're back. Plenty of Battle VIP passes in the deck now as well to Lost Zone. Nest Ball's good. It's tough. There's not that many Pokemon. And that's kind of been the struggle, I feel like, for Bradner in these openings, has just been finding Pokemon. Nest Ball will get us 1. Jet Energy can get us an Abyss Seeking. And I guess there's not too much threat of our Tina getting knocked out next turn, so we should be good on that. That should be the take here. I assume we're going to go Nest Ball for Tina, Abyss Seeking here. Start to build it up. Going to be definitely locked into like more of a late game line here, late game gameplay. We don't get those early KOs with the Cram or Greninja threat here from Bradner, unfortunately. It's going to be into a late game play here from Bradner. Of course, Guardy is king of late game, but no, Tina's pretty close. Tina's pretty close. Probably checking coming in. I don't think Bradner's gone through the deck yet, so give him a second here to check the prize cards. Ooh, looks like there was maybe, I think, a Psychic prize. Both waters are there, though. Both waters are there, and we're actually going to get a decent amount of cards in the Lost Zone here as well, off the rip, whereas we've kind of not had that from Bradner off the rip to begin with in these other early games. And here we go. Abyss Seeking is online. Oh my, dude, give him a break, bro. Like, what? Oh, well, I feel like it's a jet and a water here. I think we're going jet water. Jets are pretty good. I don't know if we want to lose that many jets. And then the water, we want to keep out that threat of Greninja, especially with Manaphy not in play yet. It could be prized. We know it's in Jake's hand, but of course, Bradner doesn't know that. Oh, maybe going to give up on the water. Then the Manaphy doesn't have to be benched. Another bench space to work with would be pretty sick here for Jake. Oh, do you really want to give Jake the free bench to work with? I guess the answer is yes. But maybe you have to kind of run it like that. Maybe that was just like... Let's see. Okay, it's going to take just 1 second here. Boom. All right, quick Mirage step here from Jake, and already going back over. No, nothing there for Jake at all. Back over to Bradner, who, I mean, Jake would have benched Manaphy that turn if there had been the water energy not lost zoned. But yeah, actually for Bradner here, it's not looking terrible. Bradner could even get aggressive this turn, get a knockout with a cram. Making the comeback here. Counter catcher, how aggressive are we being would be the question here. Looks like we're going for the aggression here. We definitely want to see a Colress here as well. Are we retreating to the other Comfy before we try and find Colress for a cram punch? There's a whiff on the first Pokegear. Alberto's somewhere laughing, thinking about how it could have been an Iono instead. Pokegear number 2. Oh, it's a boss, dude. Oh my gosh. All right. That's rough. That's tough. Gonna have to go retreat to Comfy, or to actually just retreat to Tina. You risk your lone Tina being KO'd here. So it is gonna be the Comfy. Run to the Comfy. Could have gone for the Abyssiki and chooses not to. Gate versus Super Rod. No gates played yet. Super Rod's pretty important. Eyes up the Mirage Gate. Very little energy burned so far. No energy in the discard pile, I believe. Besides Jets, of course. So nothing to Super Rod 4, really. Does end up on that Mirage Gate. Protect the Tina by evolving it on the bench. And then he's going to go aggressive with the Path as well. No workers played. No stadiums gone. Aggressive with the Path. Trying to buy some time here. Not let Jake get too far ahead with like a Cresselia snipe on the Tina, which I'm sure is what Jake would probably want to go for here, as a Cresselia snipe on the Tina. Immediately gives up the Greninja. Yeah, Jake hates Greninja, if you guys didn't know. Absolutely hates the card. Here comes a refinement. Gives up the Manaphy here. Now, if we get a Shiny Arcana, evolve the active, could dig out some energy. Ooh, not much to work with here for Jake. Do we see a retreat teleportation burst? Do we see attach active pass? Maybe attach to bench Curlia pass? Or do we want to conserve this Curlia? I feel like conserving this Curlia is pretty good here. And does Jake agree? Maybe. I don't know if it's worth to keep that extra energy to keep it a Curlia in the act. Worth the trade-off of keeping a Curlia in the active. Yep, retreat to the teleportation. Reload up the energy on the Curlia. Jirachi coming down as well. Protect the Curlias from that Sableye potential. Oh, and turn just going to not teleportation burst. Just leave it in the active with the energy. Okay, have the option of pivoting next turn. Path top deck for Bradner. Pretty bad top deck. You don't need that right now. Has a boss in hand. Could boss KO a Curlia this turn. That doesn't even seem like that's that good, even if we see the cram. Gonna open up with a gate here. Could go water active. Instead, it's looking at that psychic and grass. Makes you think both these are going to the Tina. I thought we'd maybe see the water to the active Comfy here. Get that out of the deck and then attach a psychic or grass from hand. Interesting choice there, I feel like, but we'll see how it plays out. Another Tina. Tina's pretty good. Losing an energy is not great, especially when you're down a Super Rod already. Big one, but you do need another Tina here. You do actually need another Tina here for sure. Not yet. Maybe not next turn. Yeah, not right now. Maybe not next turn, but eventually. Eventually we will need it. Guys, no one is stream sniping. Neither of these players are stream sniping. Like, yeah, it's just nope. You know, appreciate the 39 months there, Dirty. What's the game count? Scoreboard right below the chat down there, bottom left corner. 2-0 for Gearhart so far. Appreciate the prime sub there, Pop Tart. Welcome to the Rat Pack. Raw to cereal. We got plenty of L's for Tina. Lots of L's for Tina. So there was the Tina grab there. He's going to make its way down. Just attach to Tina and pass as well. Really slow start here from Bradner. Like I mentioned, it's probably going to be a slow roll here from Bradner as we build up towards the late game. But you definitely need to start to pressure the Guardy player at some point with Cram or Sableye. Yeah, lost impacting a Ralts is not something I recommend, so we want to get Cram online here as soon as possible. I guess thankfully for Bradner, no Cresselia action or like early Deoxys punches or anything like that's going on. There is a collapsed and a Guardy EX for Jake, but does Jake even care? I think we might just see attach Psychic to the bench Curlia pass and just like have the threat of Shiny Arcana swinging next turn. Yeah, I think Jake's just gonna take it slow as long as there's not too much pressure coming at him. I don't think it's like too concerned with playing too aggressively. Just gonna kind of match the pace here from Bradner for now. Could see that teleportation burst to just deal 10 damage to the Comfy. Pretty irrelevant, not like super relevant. Maybe keeping the option of the pivot in the active overall is gonna be a little bit better. Just the 40 months there, Fanta Cat, and the Prime sub there. Seed. X, welcome to the pack. A lot of bowls, got plenty of forks. Appreciate the 100 bits there, Lock. All right, Colress in the hand for Bradner now. We need that. We need the cram. Where is the cram? The people want to know. Where's the cram at? Where is the cram at? Colress in the hand, Comfy. Hopefully we're finding it this turn. Here comes the Colress. There's Sableye. Okay, pretty good selection here. Already have 2 Tina set up. The 3rd Tina, you might want it, but it looks like we're going to give it up here. Has the Sableye option now here as well. I think we do have 10 in the Lost Zone. Oh, wait. I guess we could use Sableye to KO the active Ralts, but there's the Jirachi on the bench, so that's not that good. Appreciate the 100 bits there as well, Sonny. Those Flower selecting to lose. Probably debating using the Gate or not beforehand. I don't even know what's left in the deck. There's like a Water and maybe a Psychic. So you could go like Water active Psychic to the bench Tina. It's a lot of energy in play that can be removed from play from Guardy's taking big knockouts. Just gonna go with the Flower selecting, preserve the Gate. Oh, there's the Water, but there's the Nest Ball. The Nest Ball could lead to the Cram. Are we not going for the Cram knockout here? The answer is no to that. Yeah, shredding into a Ralts doesn't seem terrible, but with a Super Rod already in the Lost Zone, it doesn't seem great either, to be honest. So no Cram angle here. No Cram angle happening. Still has the Mirage Gate. Just gonna dig more with Comfy. Could still see the. I guess we could still see the Cram here. We could see the Cram off this one. Switch and a Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate seems like the better of the 2 cards, but I guess you only have so much energy to work with, so maybe the Switch is a little bit better. And then what is the play here from Bradner? Do you just pass with this Comfy in the active with a Jet on it? I mean, that seems like this is where this is going. 2nd Tina is lined up. Attach Psychic to the other Tina. I mean, you may as well, when we have 1 Tina on the bench with 3 energy, you may as well put some extra energy on the other Tina. But maybe you trying to save. Oh no, we already attached the Jet. Excuse me. Yeah, so is it just pass? That seems terrible. Well, if you bench Sableye here, you can't Cram as well. Ooh. So there's not even the option of starting to like be aggressive with Cram now. If Jake just chooses to not draw a prize card. Maybe Bradner's waiting for the Avery though, I guess. If the Avery is in the deck. Actually, like, it's like a piece I forgot about because we haven't seen it in like 2 games. We haven't seen the Avery in a little while. Refinements are coming in. We have Collapse. Tons of options here for Jake, but I don't know if Jake's gonna do anything. I don't know if Jake's gonna do anything, to be honest. I think Jake might just wait. But the problem with Jake waiting, here, to be honest, is the longer that Jake waits, the more likely it is that the Avery happens, which I guess would be a potential, something you potentially not want to have happen. Could be that. That could be something you're trying to avoid. Could be something we're potentially trying to avoid. Yeah, just Teleportation Burst. I guess you could eventually knock out a Comfy with Teleportation Burst. That could be the aggression. Oh, into the Curlia as well. So giving up the Curlia over to Bradner. Maybe I will just like have this off actually. It's like when it's still kind of hard to see. I'll just leave it on. I guess yeah. All right, 2 VIP passes. Finally, some VIP passes in the Lost Zone here. Bradner. Is it just going to be Sableye? I think it is just going to be Sableye KO Curlia here from Bradner. We do have this boss in hand. I don't know if this like leads anything. All right, another pretty easy Lost Zone choice here. Switching to Sableye KO Curlia. Or what are we waiting for? Do we match these teleportation bursts with the Rain Splash of Manaphy? Is that our aggression here from Bradner? Do we just Rain Splash? Good. Deck out? Deck out honestly is a concern for Bradner. Bradner does have to be the one who's an aggressor here with only 7 cards left in deck. Maybe it is a Rain Splash angle. It could be. Sableye still available as well. We haven't attached return yet. It is going to be the Sableye KO. Okay. Jirachi is protecting the bench, but we can still put 12 on the active here. There we go. Still no prizes this game. I mean, trust me, I'm pretty sure Bradner wants to be drawing prize cards, just hasn't been able to. Yeah, Bradner's trying to do something. It's just never able to find the cram. Although maybe taking it slower like this is the correct way to kind of approach this. But when Jake's response is also to do nothing, I feel like that lines up pretty well. I don't know. Here we go. Refinements are in to start with. Now is where we probably see some aggression here from Jake. How far do we go? Honestly, counter catcher KO the Tina that has 3 energy on it seems pretty good. Yeah, I think as Jake here, we just do that. I think Jake here is just going to go counter catcher KO that Tina off the bench. That seems pretty good to me. Remove the Tina from play, 3 energy from play. And the Sableye is still alive, but Sableye's not putting on that much pressure when it can only hit the active. So it would only be able to respond to get 1 prize card KO on the active. And then if you just deal with the other Tina on the turn following to that, I think you just win the game basically from there. There's a worker to play as well, and also can hold this hand as well. There's no hand disruption potential from... Yeah, this one actually just feels over. The more I'm thinking about and looking at this game, this one feels over, to be honest. You can just go KO those Tina. You can counter catcher KO Tina, and then... Oh, I guess you'll be able to counter catcher on the next turn? But honestly, removing this Tina from play feels pretty good. RDX is set up here, though. Maybe we are just going to see a Cresselia play here from Jake. Jake might just take this one slow, though. We'll see. Jake could just, like... Once again, kind of take his time. Just kind of match Bradner. Prize for prize. Bradner doesn't have a great response into this Cresselia with this Sableye going down. The Cram can't KO. Actually, honestly, the more I think about it, this play just seems disgusting from Jake. Can't... Honestly, I feel like the response from Bradner has to be Star Requiem Guardi EX. Ooh, think about putting that extra energy in play. I think we should definitely do that in the discard pile in case we want to Cresselia again on the next turn. Or just leave it in the discard pile to make sure we can take a knockout with a Guardi EX or a Shiny Arcana. It is going to fully spread all the energy out, though. It does have Collapse, I guess, to like get rid of any of our other stuff if we wanted to. Here we go. Moonglow reverse. I assume just going to take the knockout on the Sableye here. He's even thinking about playing a counter catcher. Honestly, counter catcher on Manaphy, I don't hate because there's so many resources burned from Bradner so far. The counter catcher on the Manaphy might actually be pretty good. There's so many. Yeah, there's a ton of resources burned already. There we go. Oh, it's even just going to be a punch on the... Ooh. I don't know how much I like that, though. He lets the Sableye get another knockout. It is kind of setting up the Tinas to take KOs. Here comes the Avery, though. Now we got to see the Ralts. The Ralts and what are going to this? Is it the Jirachi every time? It might be the Jirachi every time. But then you lose a Curlia to the Sableye. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't love that play there from Jake. I think Jake should have just killed the Sableye there. Definitely like the Sableye KO there. Okay, so now Sableye can start to go after these Curlias, and now there's only 1 Curlia in play for Jake to work with. So eventually, when the Roxanne comes online, that might be tough for Jake to deal with. The draw power is getting whittled away here. And this is exactly what you want to do as the Tina player. You could even Sableye, you could put KO the Curlia and then leave, put 4 on the Cresselia, and then the Cresselia can get KO'd by Cram next turn if Jake goes for a prize card. I guess you could like hit up the other Curly as well. I'm actually not sure what the best thing to do here is, but deck out. Deck out is possible. I'm pretty sure Bradner has the second Super Rod. I guess it's possible Bradner's second Super Rod is prize, and if that is true, then deck out is actually a possibility here. Yeah, deck out actually is a possibility here. If this, I don't know where the second Super Rod is. I think it's in the deck, but I'm not 100% sure. If it's in the deck, then I think Bradner's safe. If it's not in the deck, it actually could get interesting. See. Yep, Curly a KO. Where does the rest of the damage go? Like I said, put someone on the Cresselia, set up for a Cram knockout on the next turn would be interesting. Put the rest on the other Curly to pressure that with Sableye again is also an option. I don't hate that. Got some options here. Rod is prized. That's gonna be tough. If the second rod is prized, this could actually come down to deck out, to be honest. And is going all on Curlia here. All right, see what the prize card is. If the rod is prized, that'd be the prize card to get. That's an S-ball. 3 cards left in deck. All right. Back over to Jake. Does have double Super Rod in hand, so we'll be able to start to recover some of these lost pieces. He's going after the Jirachi, some Braults. I think has Artisan in hand as well, which will help recover these fallen squad here. And now, to be honest, I wouldn't hate to see the counter catcher on the Manaphy Cresselia KO. I mean, didn't KO the Sableye last turn. Maybe we still just punch the other Tina. I guess that's possible. Goes for the Worker over the Iono. Iono here seems pretty good, unless we want to keep up for that deck out game plan here as Jake. Counter catcher Manaphy. I guess do you KO the Sableye is a question here. Maybe Jake just punches Tina's some more and then gets Jirachi on the bench. But then the Sableye can still take a knockout on the Cresselia itself. And there's the Jirachi grab. Back the bench from Sableye. So I assume that means we're not knocking out Sableye here. If we're getting the Jirachi here this aggressively, I assume we're not knocking out Jirachi here. Thinking about the Ultra Ball. Roxanne is also not a threat at all anytime soon here. Or Jake. But Bradner, at some point, Bradner's just going to start Requiem that Guard EX. That's definitely coming up here. Not too long. Yeah, we're not too far away from that. That's for sure. It's going to be happening. About what to discard. Honestly, getting rid of some of these Ionos wouldn't be terrible because, well, no, actually not in this situation. We have 6 prize cards left. He's getting rid of one of them and a Guard EX. There is the second Super Rod in hand though, so we're not too scared here. Yeah, and going for more Ralts. The Deoxys also would have been an option there, but I guess the V-Star is prized. Into the Shining Arcana. So it is going to be another Cresselia attack. Will we hit a Tina? Will we KO the Sableye? Other option is V-Star's in the discard. Oh, is it in the discard pile? Okay. The counter catcher is also an option here. The extra energy on the Cresselia, so you could just attach the Cresselia attack next turn if you wanted to. Once again, because the Jirachi was gotten, I assume that means we're not KOing Sableye here, though. So I assume because we got Jirachi here, we're not KOing Sableye, unless Jake's really scared of the follow-up Sableye from a Super Rod. No counter catcher to stall the Manaphy. Although, once again, like I don't hate the idea of that. And it's just going to hit up another Tina. I feel like the Sableye attack from Bradner has to go after the Cresselia here. Whoa. Let me switch over. I forgot. Definitely not playing that Colress here. Could Boss KO the Guard EX? We did just see a Guard EX get discarded there on the last turn. Although I'm sure Bradner probably, if like we're just discarding a Guard EX out of a hand that big, I'm sure Bradner is thinking, there's probably the second Super Rod in the hand or in the deck here. They're not just going to discard the second Guard EX like that. They're just going to be chilling Lost Mine. This time we have to go after the Cresselia here. And he's going to be chilling Lost Mine. Go after the Cresselia. Knockout. Let's see what this prize card is. We're looking for that Super Rod. It's a Psychic Energy. That's still good. That allows us to attack with the other Tina. But I'm sure Super Rod would have been what we were looking for. Okay. 6 prize cards left here for Jake. Both Tinas are very set up to be KO'd. But honestly, I don't feel like Bradner's in that bad of a spot. Yeah, I honestly don't feel like Bradner's in that bad of a spot. Because we could, like I said, we have Boss, we have Star Requiem, we could just Star Requiem the Guardi EX. Like, honestly, doesn't Bradner just kind of have win on board, basically? Am I tripping? I almost feel like Jake played this too slow. It almost feels like Jake maybe played this one too slow. The early game, though, like, there wasn't much Jake could do, but into these later turns, I feel like Jake really could have pressured these Tinas and just kind of taken them off the board. And, like, could have prevented the potential for the comeback, but all these resources are being able to be utilized pretty consistently here now from Bradner. Thinking about getting rid of another Iono. Yeah, what do we even Ultra Ball away here? We're gonna go get a Shiny Arcana, I assume. Is the plan. Boss and Iono. Boss going down is interesting. But I guess if Arcana catchers are always gonna be live the rest of the game, maybe it's not gonna matter actually the more I think about it. Not that many cards left in the deck here for Jake either. Not as in big of a threat, not in as big of a threat to get knocked out though. Or not knocked out, to get to deck out. Knock out, deck out. Here's the Shiny Arcana. Now, what are we doing here, though? Are we just going to go KO the Tina plus Iono? Shiny Arcana. Double Ball. Reversal Energy. Gotta be Iono this turn. No, I feel like it's gotta be Iono this turn. I guess you don't have to Iono this turn. Is this also... Jake has, what, 2 Iono left? Debating which Tina to go after here. We are doing 180, right? With this Guardi as is. Ooh, that's actually pretty tough. 2180. Yeah. So this actually KOs the Tina without any damage on it, which means the Sableye can't return KO it. This is actually looking. This is still looking pretty good here for Jake. Actually, the more it's developing, I feel like, okay, maybe we're in a good spot. Iono here kind of makes sense. I feel like just take away the possibility of the Boss Star Requiem on the Guardi EX. I think you want to take that away probably. Deoxys V-Star might be making its way into play here. You're still not giving Bradner Roxanne as well, so maybe you don't need to play the Iono here. You're not giving Bradner the Roxanne, which is probably the biggest thing to avoid giving him access to. All right. Gratefully load some energy on the Deoxys. I'm gonna go with 3. Energy on the Guardi, energy on the bench Kirlia. I'm gonna go with 4 into the Deoxys. What is the Deoxys V's attack? I guess just for the V-Star, right? And no Iono here. Yeah, no Iono. Just gonna go for the KO. Got 2 prize cards. Once again, the Sableye can't KO the active Guardi here, which is probably the biggest deal here. The Sableye can't get the KO here. What is the follow-up play? But still needs 4 prize cards. We still need to see 4 prize cards get drawn here. Well, no, but now Bradner still just has Boss Star Requiem, right? Go down to 1 prize card. Bradner has Boss Star Requiem on Guardi. Go down to 1 prize card. I guess then Shiny Arcana can come back up and knock you out plus Iono. And then your win condition becomes what? I don't know where the second boss is here for Bradner, but there might not be a win condition after that. Get around a full HP Shiny Arcana. Unless there's like another Tina for Bradner. But there might not be another Tina here. Because the Super Odds prize, I think. Alright. V-Star top deck. Yeah, it might not matter here. 1 card left in deck. I don't know where the... I don't know where the other boss is, but if there's another boss left here for Bradner, Bradner could do that play. Bradner could go boss, Star Requiem, Guardy, bench Cram, and have Sableye and Cram to be able to boss win with the KO. I don't know where the other boss is, though. It might not be... well, I assume this means game over. Because now you just deck out here as Bradner. I don't know what Bradner was looking for there. Maybe it was just like hoping that the Super Rod wasn't prized. It's another dub for Jake. 3-0 start. We got to start to see Bradner take one soon here. The yo, appreciate the 2 months there. 86. Insane stream, insane players, insane commentary. The stream is so entertaining. Glad you're enjoying it. That's rough. 3-0 start for Jake. All right, so we do have Jake going first, though. And it is going to be the Mew grab. This is the first time we've seen Jake use Mew here, I believe. But the hand actually is pretty slow looking. Okay, he chose second, no. So they're just alternating back and forth on who goes first. They're alternating back and forth on who goes first. So they initially coin flipped. Bradner won the coin flip, went first. Game 2, Jake went first. Game 3, Bradner went first. Game 4, Jake goes first. So no potential for the... no potential here for Jake for the Mirage Step. I didn't really pay attention to the Curlia prizing. Did prize 1 Refinement, also prized 1 Ralts. So maybe a little bit of a slower start here for Jake finally. I guess like the last game, Jake didn't have like too ridiculous of a start, but being up 3-0 should be very aggressive this match. How you should play a Pokemon game does not change based on if you're up a game or not. I guess like you could argue it changes maybe a little bit, but basically shouldn't change. Only a counter catcher off the Mysterious Tail. So really slow start here for Jake. I think we're looking at a turn 3 Mirage Step. Probably pushes the 100 bits there, Marky Mark. Back over to Bradner. VIP pass off the top. Okay. I think we got a turn 1 Cram on the way here for Bradner. I would actually like to see Bradner get aggressive for it and probably go battle VIP pass for Comfy Cram here. And then... Oh, but it does want to hit more basics here. Look, there's the Cram. There's a boss, a chorus. So we're gonna like attack with Cram 2 turns in a row here, but you do want to find Tina's as well. So I don't hate like trying to find more basics here. Also like the possibility of, well, Greninja in this hand kind of sucks. There's no energy in this hand. Losing a gate and an energy is not great, to be honest. Now we see the Battle VIP pass come out. Tina, Comfy, Greninja. Will we use it right now? Probably not. We do have the threat of the Moonlight Shuriken though, maybe for next turn. So that's something we could possibly pull off. Just doing sub there. Mr. Furian? Erlin? Welcome to the Rat Pack. Auto Water, we got plenty of ups. Jake does play Manaphy, yes. But really slow start, so it's going to be hard to get Manaphy in play. Pushes 100 bits there. Marky Mark. Why did Bradner use Lost Mine or Star Requiem the big Guardy last game? No clue. Well, he decked out on the last turn there, so. Tina, Comfy in play. Comfy. So we do have the turn 1 Cram attack here from Bradner, which is what you want to see. Be able to get aggressive. Oh! Water versus Psychic. Goes for the water. Keeps around the option of the Greninja. I like that. I think you want to keep that around as long as possible, especially with a really slow start like this from Jake. Appreciate the prime sub there. Trainer Jack. Welcome to the Rat Pack. A lot of subways. We got plenty of pizza. Now, is it attach retreat or play the switch? That's the question here. Keep the energy around. That leads to more possibility for the Greninja play. Decides to keep the energy. There's the spit. So still like not great loss zones here from Bradner. They weren't like terribly rough, but the hand here is pretty rough here. The hand is pretty rough here for Jake. I almost think you just push Ralts and hope for the Mirage Step, to be honest. And that's what we're going to see here. Oh, it's a Zacian. So what do you do? Attach active. Sheesh, what do you do? Attach retreat to... I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Attach retreat to Zacian, counter catcher Tina, use Zacian to accelerate energy to itself. I don't know here. I'm not sure. This is tough. I guess we could like, well, do we want teleportation burst or do we want to accelerate energy with the Zacian? I guess you could retreat to Jirachi, counter catcher Tina, accelerate an energy to the Ralts, so that way you could possibly pull off Mirage Step after they KO the Jirachi next turn. Just gonna retreat. How about that? Oh wait, I thought they were like ending their turn there for some reason. I was like, what? But they are going with that play. Tina up. Boom. Zacian. I thought for some reason the retreat was ending the turn. Maybe I thought they were using teleportation burst. I don't know. There we go. Load up the Ralts and pass over to Bradner, who doesn't have a switch to move this Tina, but does still have a Colress to work with, and could at least Abyss Seeking at the very end, but would definitely like to boss KO that Ralts, I'm sure. Boss KO Ralts here kind of goes insane, but not going to be an option because we are using Colress. Do we want more Pokemon or do we want the Jet? We're definitely taking one of those Tina V-Stars, I feel like. Gonna give up on the Switch card, actually, which makes sense. Well, yeah, Nest Ball for another Tina. That seems good to me. Maybe you get the... Actually, maybe you get Greninja here, actually. Bring up the threat. I'd probably go with Greninja here. Can't teleportation burst? Oh, yeah, that's true. It only works on evolutions. Yo, appreciate the 5 gifted there. Pokedual CV and Inert G. Welcome both to the... Or welcome all to the Rat Pack. Masta, Foxy, Bison, Nax, RDS, Brain, Lex, Slax, WSG, and Sour Power Buds. Welcome to the pack. Welcome back to the pack. Plenty of action, but we're all out of toilets. Nest Ball's in. There's the Greninja grab. I like that. I like the Greninja grab here. I like the Greninja grab for sure. I think we even have like the threat of the Greninja play. I think both waters were in the deck. So I think if we get a... I think we just get a gate here. I think we're in gate range as well. We're close to 7 if we're not at 7 here. So it's all possible. For sure. Field cards. Get rid of the Psychic, I assume, is what's going to happen here. Okay. Predictable. No hits yet. But hold on. We still have Jet plus... potentially 2 Flower Sluggings. I don't know if the commit to the double Flower Slug thing will happen here. We're definitely attacking for turn here, though, as Bradner. We definitely want to get aggressive. There's the gate, but I don't know what's left in the deck for energy. That's another Psychic. We do have both Super Rods to work with still. Is that 7, though? I don't know where we're at here. We do have the Switch as well, so... Oh, we're at 7. Okay, Water. Wait. Are we not going to Greninja that Ralts? Why? Wait, we already attached? Oh, we just attached the Jet. We just attached the Jet. Yes, my bad. Dude, I literally like lost my mind there for a second. I was like, wait, what is going on? We just attached Jet energy. Everything's okay. Nobody panic. It's going to be a Cram attack here into the Jirachi. Yeah, Cram attack into the Jirachi. We're all good. Path as well? Even going to throw out the Path? I mean, there's got to be something in Jake's hand, though. I feel like Path seems a little bit excessive there. But, all right. It would go to the bottom of the deck. I guess you do want to kind of thin out your deck more aggressively. But the draw power, you're shutting off your own draw power from Greninjas of what? Shut off their Zacian. Maybe a Candy Guard EX. Maybe you're scared of the Candy Guard EX. Energy top deck. Not looking good here for Jake. I think we should see his energy put on the Zacian, though, and then teleportation burst, so that we could retreat the Zacian and pull off Mirage Step. I mean, maybe it's a little, like, doesn't really matter here. Back over to Bradner. Has the boss, so we could just see boss KO Ralts. Take away the Mirage Step option. Could see Lost Impact KO the Zacian. Go down to 2 prize cards. I kind of like the boss play, I feel like. I like the boss play here. A little pressure on. Nothing too crazy. Not getting too wild. That would remove the threat of the Greninja if we do put the water on the Tina there. I don't hate that. Yeah, there's the boss. Okay, I like that. Go after the Ralts. You do want to set up as many threats. I mean, Cram just hitting over and over again. Okay, it's just going to be a Bradner going first here in this one. Double Comfy. No even thought of the Greninja. Hold on, that could change, though. And no thought of even getting the Greninja. Going for the... Eyeing up the Double Comfy immediately off the rip there. I, mean, I don't hate it. Building up your lost zones is pretty important. And if we just, like, use 2 Comfies twice, that at least becomes a Cram KO. It actually adds more RNG. I don't think that's true. Doesn't it just like neutral? I'm pretty sure it's just neutral. Here come the Comfies. Locking out. No Greninja. Now we're going to Jet up. It is the Jet. We're not saving that for Abyss Seeking next turn because we could have switch carded plus retreated to use 2 Comfies there. But if we get into like the Greninja now, we probably want to have that water to use with Greninja. Jet versus Super Rod. I feel like it's got to be the Super Rod here. And there's no Colress in the hand yet, but like Bradner doesn't have to like, is not stressing in this situation. Do we play the switch card or do we, I guess you always hard retreat here because you want to save the switch card for next turn, right? Yeah. Another one coming in. Battle VIP pass would probably be decent. There's the Greninja. I feel like we got to go with Greninja. I don't even think this is a question. Bradner stopping and thinking though. I guess it depends how many grass were prized. I didn't pay attention to that, to be honest, but I think both water were in there. I think there was a water in the deck though, so. I assume concealed cards is on the way here. Do you ever keep it just to use a flower? I don't think so. I think we're gonna use concealed cards here. Besiki next turn, I guess. But I think we want to increase our odds of seeing a Colress next turn. 2 more energy to work with. Should be all good. The threat of the Moonlight Shuriken is live right now as well. All right, let's see what Jake drew. We haven't seen Jake's hand yet. Not bad. Not bad. That's pretty good. Is it going to be a step angle from Jake is the question. We could see Manaphy plus Ralts here into the step. How many Curly are prized? We're going to find out shortly here. Unless Jake knows something we don't already, which wouldn't make any sense. It's probably impossible. Curlias. The whole squad is there. I think both Guardies too. 4 Iono. There's 1 worker. I think we maybe prized 1 worker here for Jake. Looking pretty good though. Got that solid turn 2 step lined up. And yeah, the Manaphy to protect the bench from the potential turn 2 Greninja, which is not very likely. There we go. Is it even worth doing anything else here? Maybe getting another Ralts down, I guess, in case you top deck a Refinement would be probably correct, right? Sure. Makes sense to me. Are we eyeing up an energy over here? I don't think so. All right, gonna go for that Ralts. Nope, thinking about it. We're going back. Energy. Ralts, energy, Ralts, energy. Maybe is playing... What would you be playing for? I feel like the Ralts makes the most sense. Because like if one of your Ralts is going to get KO'd on this next turn, I feel like you'd want another Ralts on your bench to like respond to... If you top deck a Refinement or something like that. 1 reversal prize as well. That could be a big card. Some final prize checking going on. And is going to settle on the energy. We could see that last Fall Crystal get played here as well. Cresselia thinking about benching that. It'd be an interesting... It doesn't feel like it needs to be benched here. And your hand's not going to get disrupted because there's only Roxanne's in the build here for Bradner. But I guess it could... Also, Bradner doesn't play Escape Rope. Oh, are you going to retreat to the Cresselia here? That doesn't seem correct. That seems bad. That doesn't make any sense. Teleportation Burst for 10. Discard energy with Ultra Ball. Yeah, but you're not going to play the Ultra Ball this turn anyways. Yeah, that was a curious choice there with the Fall Crystal from Jake. Now thinking about the Fall Crystal again. Yeah, I didn't like these Fall Crystal plays here from Jake. Well, I like the idea of using 1 to go get another Ralts. Yeah, I think Jake seems pretty undecided about all these things. And, oh, going back. We're not going back. We're going to do it. Is the Ralts worth it, Jake? It looks like the answer is yes. It would have been really weird if Jake had grabbed any other Psychic Pokemon. Then I would have been confused personally. But yeah, it decides the Ralts is worth it. Like I said, if you do top deck that Refinement, you want to be able to use it potentially. All right. Back over. Bradner has a pretty good start so far. I assume is looking for that Cram attack. Has the Cram attack in hand, actually. Set up, ready to go. I assume that's going to be the angle here. I'd be curious to see if Bradner does anything else, and I'm sure wants to find a Colress, of course. We want to find that Colress. And does have the possibility of the Cram attack already. We got the Nest Ball. That can get Cram. A Counter Catcher, if we're going to go ahead. Don't really need that. This is like the first, to be honest, this is like the first really solid game we've seen. This is the first one. The beginning of the solid games, hopefully. Hopefully the rest of them are all solid from here. Yeah, Bradner had a couple rough draws to begin with. Okay, so now we see, is it an Abyss Seeking or is it the Cram knockout here from Bradner? What do we go for here? I feel like putting the pressure on makes sense. Is Spit Manaphy the line? Ooh, I don't hate that. Do we ever boss Spit Manaphy? I don't hate that, to be honest. I don't hate that. I didn't think about that in the moment, but I don't hate that. And then just don't put the path in play yet. Here's the switch card burn. Water to Greninja. It's got to be the boss then if we're putting the water on the Greninja, right? There's no way we don't boss Manaphy if we're putting the water on Greninja, right? Is it? Wait, what? I don't know about that. Or is he going to have... Well, what? I don't know about that. We don't want to boss next turn if we run into Colress. We want to boss this turn, Colress next turn. That feels a little awkward to have placed it out like that, to be honest. I don't know if I dig that. Ultra Ball coming in. There's the Mirage Step. Triple Curlia in the deck. Maybe Bradner's just playing for the idea of the Avery, but like... I don't know. I feel like the boss kill on the Manaphy there puts on so much pressure. Puts on so much pressure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. All right. Triple Refinement into play. Here we go. Turn here for Jake. Back over. Oh, there's the Avery off the top. Wait, hang on. How many are in the Lost Zone, though? There's 4. Dude. Oh, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Dude. There's no third Comfey, though, and not that many switch cards, though. No third Comfey, not that many switch cards. This is still really good, though. What do you have to get rid of here? I feel like as Jake here, you make the call that the Greninja is not going to happen. You ditch the Manaphy and the Ralts. But that's a pretty big hand here, and the water was put on the Greninja here from Bradner. So do you have to like predict the Greninja play here? Save the boss to Refinement Curlia? Nah. No, is calling him out. You don't have it like that. Can Bradner get there? Bradner needs a lot of switch cards. It is possible. I think the second water is in the deck, has Super Rod in hand if you draw too many water or too many energy. It needs switch cards and another Comfey. That's a lot to get here. Has the jet to begin the sequence, but would literally need to draw into switch card from here. No, you could get one off the next one. You definitely don't want to commit the Nest Ball yet because you don't want to get bench locked out of Double Tina. Oof. All right, we're not getting there. Yeah, not getting there this turn, but the Manaphy is still in the discard pile. Manaphy is still in the discard pile. That's still pretty big. Cram KO here, not bad. I think that's the way we're going to see this go here, I would imagine, on this turn. Yeah, Jake calling his bluff there. Do we Nest Ball for another? Do we keep the bench space open? Do we Nest Ball? Not that much of the deck has been seen here. Oh, the water was in the discard pile as well. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, preparing for an Iono here as much as possible is Bradner. Also, still keeping the bench space open. I don't know. I feel like we could put the Sableye down or go get another Tina. Yeah, I think getting another Tina here, just you got to get ready for the potential of an Iono coming up here. You just want to be as set up as possible. I feel like this is enough pressure right here. Also, Jake has seen so few cards in the deck. There's no guarantee this Manaphy comes back on the bench. That Greninja could still wreak havoc on this following turn. See how the prize card does. It's a Comfey. We needed that last turn. Deoxys, all right, we're living off these refinements here. I think Deoxys got to bite the dust here, right? Yeah, goodbye, Deoxys. There's the Super Rod for the Manaphy. Do you just play it off the rip here or no? Jake says no. Much more value is finding a draw supporter. There's Shiny Arcana to work with as well. There's an Ultra Ball that could find the Gardevoir EX. So the potential to attack this turn, we have the reversal at the very least. And you do got to start to do something at some point because Bradner actually got an aggressive draw this turn, is really putting the pressure on Jake. Arcana's in. It's an energy. Love the bug coming in. We can't see what the other card is. We don't get to know what the other card is. So actually, to be honest, Jake playing like a slightly nerfed deck here overall, I guess, because like the Shiny Arcana is... Oh, there's the Iono. That's huge. All right, we got the Super Rod to recover the Manaphy to protect our Curlias. We have the KO on this Cram to slow down the aggression. And then we got that Iono. Draw some more cards here. So, all right. Pretty good response here so far from Jake. Doesn't have the Manaphy yet. Just has the way to recover the Manaphy. Getting some Ralts back as well. Not going for the Station or the Deoxys. Oh, I guess you could play the Ultra Ball. You could have, like, Fimented away the Cresselia and then play the Ultra Ball in the next 2 cards. I don't know about that. Manaphy? No Manaphy, but hang on. Still got some more cards to draw. Also, the Greninja is not guaranteed for Bradner. Another Shiny Arcana. Hold up, we're not done yet. And actually, now we have our Pokemon out of Greninja range. We could see Bradner, though, KO the only Curly in play that could become a Gardevoir EX. And then if you bench a Ralts, that becomes the 2 prize cards for the Greninja. See what the play is here. Thinking about Gardevoir EX. Oh, we could attack with Cresselia here as well. That would be a play, actually, from Jake here. You could just evolve to GardeEX and Shiny Arcana, actually. Then you're fully out of range. You don't need Manaphy. You don't even need Manaphy. The whole squad is evolved. And we just start sniping these Tinas with Cresselia. That sounds like a Drake. That sounds like a Jake lineup play, to be honest. I think Jake's going to go this route for sure. A Drake lineup play. No? Just the Brainwave. Oh, I guess if you do play the Collapso, that does open up a bench space for... If you do play the Collapse, that does open a bench space for Bradner here. And then if the path is... But there's already 2 path gone, I think. I think there is already 2 path gone. So it's unlikely the path would get bumped, or this Collapse would get bumped back, and then to create a bench space for something else. Jake type beat. The discard... I mean, I think there's got to be a Comfey here from Bradner. That does open up the possibility to go Cresselia, snipe the only Comfey in play, though, if you do get rid of Comfey. But if you get rid of Greninja, you don't have the threat of the Greninja anymore. If you get rid of Tina, you only have 1 Tina in play. Honestly, there's not like any great I feel like it still has to be the Comfey here. Also, if you know how Jake likes to approach this matchup, you probably know Jake is not going to snipe your only Comfey in play, and is probably just going to punch a Tina for some damage. Now, is that correct? I don't know, but I know that's how Jake likes to approach this matchup, is just like pressure the Tinas ahead of time. Could also, once again, could evolve that other Shiny Arcana. Thinking about using Greninja here as well. Yeah, still could draw some more cards this turn. Gonna force Jake to discard the reversal. Is that a bug in the game? Draw 2. I don't think I've ever had that bug before, to be honest. Okay, safe. No reversal, discard. I've never seen that one before. I believe you, though, because there's a lot of bugs. I think it's a mobile only. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, the whole squad is loaded up. Yeah, so it's going to be the Cresselia snipe. Like I said, Jake likes taking his time in this matchup. So I think we're going to see this hit that Tina V-Star. But removing all your opponent's Comfeys from play, I mean, can't go against it. Yep. Predictable. All right. Over to Bradner here. I haven't seen the hand yet. Hey, that's not a bad hand, though. That's a Colress. The Greninja play here is also pretty good, though. You can Greninja KO the Kirlia. That's why I almost wanted to see that Shiny Arcana get evolved there from Jake. I almost want to see the double Shiny Arcana get set up. Because I feel like a really good play from Bradner here is actually to snipe the Kirlia and then put 90 damage on the Shiny Arcana. Or maybe you put on the Cresselia so the Cram can KO the Cresselia next turn. Just Boss Kirlia Spit. Hey, I don't hate that either. Boss Kirlia Spit is also not bad. And actually, looks like Bradner agrees with you. Yeah, I don't hate that either. Doesn't even go with the concealed cards to see some more cards here. Is it slow? Goes for the KO. That's the last boss, though. Oof. We have, like, no more access to the GardeEX anymore at this point for Bradner. GardeEX getting pushed here from Bradner. I think we're just going to go back into Cresselia here as Bradner. Maybe you can counter catcher up that Tina that has all the damage on it and try and trap that for a turn. Why does Jake do that play with Cresselia? You don't want to get... Jake doesn't want to get too far ahead to lose access to like counter catcher and reversal energy. In this situation, though, Jake is like has so much time to play with. I don't know if I love that choice there from Jake, to be honest. Yeah, no more gust effects here for Bradner, though. Besides maybe the counter catcher might still be left, but it's unlikely that Bradner's behind in prize cards anymore this game. So I kind of like the idea of trying to save the boss to KO the threaten the GardeEX with a Star Requiem, to be honest. But yeah, we're not going to see that here from Jake anymore, or excuse me, Bradner anymore. Both boss gone. Star Requiem on the GardeEX does not seem likely anymore. We'll see. And then is this going to be another Cresselia attack? It looks like it. The damage is being spread out, or the energy is being spread out, spreading out the damage. Yeah, I think this is be another Cresselia 80. Will it go to the same Tina? Probably not. We'll probably see this 80 go to the Tina V, I would imagine. Once again, there is still like some potential for a Greninja snipe next turn. You can punch the KO the Ralts. Oh, and it's even going to get... Oh, thinking about it. Do you want to get a little bit more aggressive here as Jake? Force your opponent to have some more switch cards. You can bring up the damaged Tina. and then snipe the Tina V, or bring up the Tina V, and I guess you could also snipe the Tina V. Jake seems pretty adamant about not drawing prize cards here still. Well, we could see the Comfy get KO'd here, I guess. Is a Screamtail no good in this matchup? It's not bad, but usually not trying to be aggressive with it. Yeah, the question is, do you want to make Bradner work a little bit harder next turn? You bring up that Tina, now you have to attack with the Tina or move the Tina. Bradner can make him work a little bit harder here. The Moonglow reverse coming in. Gonna punch the other Tina. Both Tinas set up. No damage on the board at all for Jake. Bradner does have those Culverses to work with, and a Mirage Gate now off the prize cards, and a Path to the Peak. The Path to the Peak, not as big of a deal. Now we're getting, okay, Mirage Gate, Super Rod. I feel like it's got to be the Super Rod take here. We'll see if Bradner thinks any different, though. I feel like, yeah, we're not taking the Super Rod here, right? No shot. Oh, Tina set up. Super Rod recover some energy. Oh, there's no energy to recover, actually, I feel like. Maybe we don't take the Super Rod. I take it back. There's no energy in the discard pile. Wait. There's one energy in the discard pile. You can put another one in there with the concealed cards. There's a switch in hand as well. Do you ever switch out here, or are we just kind of swinging into this Cresselia? Or maybe we're actually using Greninja here. Maybe we're attacking with Greninja here as Bradner. I kind of like the Greninja attack. KO the Ralts, maybe put 90 on the Cresselia or 90 on the Shiny Arcana so it can't quite swing as hard. Options for sure. He's going for that water energy. So we did take the switch, right? Oh, maybe we didn't take the switch. I thought we took the switch. Okay, we didn't take the switch, so we're not using the Greninja attack here. But I kind of like the idea of the Greninja attack, to be honest. Greninja... Well, we could still attack with Greninja because we could retreat the active and then Super Rod Mirage Gate again. Maybe that's the thought process here the whole time from Bradner. We'll see. I kind of like the Greninja attack. KO the Ralts. 90 on the Shiny Arcana or Cresselia. I can't tell you which one's better, to be honest, but it seems like we're off that here for Bradner as we're committed to the draw 2. But then what's the play here? Now we're going Super Rod. Only one energy to put back. Now we go back into the Mirage Gate. The more I think about it, the more I like that switch card. Is it a star? No. Psychic there, grass active. Okay, lost impact the active, lost on both waters. He's going to throw out the path aggressively as well. Here comes a Nest Ball. Grab Sableye, I would imagine. Gotta go with the Sableye here, right? That's an attacker option. Although, how much energy is left? Oh my gosh, there's no energy left. Is the second Super Rod prized again? Goes for the Comfy instead. I don't know where the... if there's a Psychic Energy in the prize card or something like that, I kind of like getting the Sableye there to have that set up as a potential attacker. Also, if you get Super Rod, Mirage Gate. No energy left again. The path play there is also interesting as well then, if we don't have any energy left to make attackers. No Rod left either? Are we really down both Rods? There's a switch. That's not going to do very much for us. Oh, let's get that switch over. Here comes Jirachi to protect the bench here from Jake from the Sableye plays, and immediately into an Iono. And the Guardy is already set up, ready to get this knockout. The Cram can't threaten it. The Sableye doesn't threaten it. Yikes. Level ball. Ralts. Do you Shiny Arcana first? What was put to the bottom of the deck? I don't actually know, to be honest. There might be a boss left. Oh, is there really a boss left? I thought we played both boss. I'm pretty sure both boss got played. I'm pretty sure both boss got played. I think Bradner's out of boss here. I might be trolling, though. Just going to stack the active Guardy. Can these level balls even find Curlias? Is there Curlias in the deck for these level balls to find? I don't even know if there is. We saw it on the gate? Oh, okay. My bad, then. I didn't know we saw it on the gate. Screamtail's coming out here. I don't know how much the Screamtail's going to matter. Lorelei's bringing you guys the cat to look at for a second. He's gotten really big. I don't remember the last time some of you guys have probably seen the cat, but the cat's gotten big. He is fat. He's become a fat cat. We gotta put him on a diet. No benching anything here. Just gonna leave the bench space. I feel like benching a Ralts here kind of makes sense, but no Curly is in the deck either. So honestly, like Star Requiem, KO the active. No Roxanne. I guess there's no Roxanne potential here either, though. Doesn't even bench a Ralts there. That's interesting. What are we afraid of? The Greninja play, I guess. Greninja KO, but that's like not happening to have a 2-card hand, though, when they can't even use Roxanne. All right, hand here for Bradner. Gate off the top, switch in hand. No energy for the gate to get. Could shuffle the deck, but if there is a boss in the deck, then we just want to go ahead and use Comfy, I assume. And then Star Requiem KO the active and to look for boss for the Cram KO. I don't know from there, to be honest. He's thinking about playing the gate, actually. What's on the bottom of the deck that we want to shuffle the deck? The boss is in there. Wait, then why did we shuffle the deck? Why did we shuffle the deck here? What was in the hand? He had gear in the other hand? Oh, did he have gear in the other hand? Okay, that's fine then. Reasonable, reasonable. No boss. No boss. Manaphy versus the Tina V-Star. Do we just bench Manaphy? Oh, I guess you switch into the other Comfy here. You probably switch into the other Comfy here. But there's no... Oh, no, we're just going all in. The Tina's going for the swing. Star Requiem, the Guardy. Go down to 1 prize card. Guardy EX also can't KO this active here. I guess it has to... KO has to... Oh, wait, that actually means... Oh, actually, how do you handle this as Jake? Because the Cram will respond to anything you'd attack with here that could actually KO this. So I think it has to be like a counter catcher play here from Jake. And we're looking for like counter catcher. And the hand also sucks for Jake. Jake has nothing in the hand. The hand is actually dead. Iono top deck. Okay, we're saved. Yeah, Jake's hand actually was just dead. KO's with Zacian. 200. Yeah, I guess you could KO with Zacian. That's true. You could KO with Zacian here, yeah. And Zacian would survive the Cram hit. Keeping the level balls in the deck? I don't know about that. Maybe, was there anything in the deck actually to put back in the hand? Maybe not, though. Okay, here we go. Iono. What do we want? Zacian KO, right? Stadium Bump plus Zacian. I don't know where the Zacian is. It could be in the discard pile. That hand does not look great. That hand definitely does not have it, but we do have the counter catcher. And also, Guardy can't currently be knocked out by Tina. Tina's used the Star Requiem. So I think we're going to see a counter catcher on probably the Manaphy, maybe? No counter catcher. Just Teleportation Burst into the Guardy. Keep the counter catcher around. Okay. I don't know if I love it. See how it goes. Star Requiem is gone. Lost hand pick isn't going to do it. There's only a Battle VIP pass here. Handed in the hand here for Bradner. Has Pokegear. Goes for it. Gets a Cold Wrist. I was wondering if that almost should have just been saved to hopefully hit boss next turn. Actually, weren't you guaranteed boss next turn? Oh, no, it's a 13 card deck. I don't know if that's how it did it. When you play the Pokegear, take 6 cards out of your deck. Roxanne, Sableye here for Bradner off the Colress. No boss, though. No boss. And it's going to be a pass. Or, I guess you could retreat to Comfy, but you probably want to keep around the Tina as a threat. So I think it's just going to be the pass here. Oh, yeah, you can KO with the Guardy EX now. That 10 damage actually is huge. The Teleportation burst is actually huge there. Wait, what's in Bradner's discard pile that's usable? I'm so confused on that. Why is there the little blue arrow above the discard pile? All right. Still no draw power for Jake. It's just going to be the pass back immediately. Hold on to the counter catcher. All right. Back over to Bradner. Pokegear. That should be... Hold on. No, that is. That's good. Let's go. There was a boss. Boss KO, Ralt, Sword, Jirachi. Just don't boss the Greninja. Hard retreat. I forgot. For a second, I thought Tina had 3 retreat calls. I like panicked. I was like, no, we don't have it yet. All good, though. Game 5 goes over to Bradner. We're seeing a little bit of comeback. 3-0 start for Jake. Some rough openings from Bradner, but Bradner started to cook a little bit more in these games. Saw one rough start from Jake. This game was a lot of back and forth. Yeah, this game was a lot of back and forth. For sure. We see Bradner come out on top. I believe Bradner went first in that one, so we're going to see another go first here from Jake. Use the Artisan to get a Ralts. And then, next turn, retreat into the Ralt. And Bradner doesn't play Escape Rope, so there's no threat of the Ralts getting KO turn 1. Let's take a look at that Curly account, though. Where are they at? Oh, I thought it was 1. All right, there's 2 in there. We did lose. There's a refinement prized. What about the Guardies? How many Guardies we got? Ooh, do we prize a... Oh, we got an EX in hand. Okay, we didn't prize 1 of each. Just the Shiny Arcana prized. Okay. Now, to maximize our odds here, Jake does want to attach 1 energy to the Ralts, so that way you can use the reversal next turn to retreat the Zacian, potentially. If we only draw into the reversal. So we want to see attached to Ralts, or do you just want to put... Do you put both on Zacian to have the threat of just like punching with Zacian into a Tina? Because punching with Zacian into a Tina, if you whiff the Shiny Arcana, is also not bad. So I guess that's the question. And it looks like Jake wants to have the option of punch the Tina if the reversal is, or if the Curlia is whiffed. But now this means if Jake draws into reversal plus Curlia, you can't actually pull off the Mirage Step. Does reversal work on Zacian? Yeah, but just count as a colorless though. But I guess at the very least, you'd be able to punch with Zacian no matter what. But you want to be punching a Tina with Zacian. See, the thing is, if there's a Comfey in the active, you kind of don't want to take the knockout on the Comfey as Jake. Okay. Also, the Artisan was given over to Bradner as well. There's a Colress. There's another Tina. There's an Artisan. Okay. Looking okay here for Bradner. We've seen some pretty rough starts. Wants to maximize. I think Bradner's just going to be looking for Kram's prize. That's pretty tough. Kram's like your early aggression. Might be looking for like an early shred from Bradner now. It goes for the Comfey here. I think just wants to get an energy here and use a Beseeching, probably with this kind of start here from Bradner. Just looking for a Beseeching. You know the start's not going to be that aggressive from Jake. Although I guess it could. We could just see a Zacian swing next turn. That'd be pretty annoying, but see how it goes. Best if we get the Comfey. Did Bradner say he'd win 5? I mean, we're just playing to whoever wins. 5. Yes. Bradner said if they play 10 games, he thinks he could go 5-5. Comes the Colress. What do we got? There's the energy. There's double Colress to go with it. If you didn't prize any gates here, I almost feel like you can take the double Colress here. And then just go for that Abyss Seeking. How Bradner feels about it, though. Do you favor the gate? I think the Tina's always kind of going to the Lost Zone here. You don't hate the idea of the third Tina, but in this situation, I think it's kind of got to go. So it kind of comes down to if you prize the gate more so than anything here, I think. If you prize the gate, you're probably taking the gate. If you didn't prize a gate, probably just going to go for the second. Going for the second Colress kind of just makes sense. Maximize your odds of just seeing more Colresses these next couple turns. Or even once you start to get Iono'd into the late game. Does seem like it is going to be a favor on the gate, though. I assume that's the thought process here. I guess you could get the third Tina. I guess you could go one Comfey triple Tina setup, but it doesn't even make a whole ton of sense in the Guardian matchup, I don't think. In other matchups, that's kind of cool, but not as much in this matchup. All right, here we go. So this does line up pretty well for a Zacian punch here from Jake. Like, Jake doesn't really want to draw prize cards. There's the question about that water energy again. Boss and water. Jet are so good, but the threat of the Greninja is just like too good. As soon as that water energy hits the Lost Zone, Jake just doesn't have to worry about Manaphy anymore. The Avery is way less of a threat as well because the Manaphy's not going to be on the bench. So it's got to go to the water boss here. All right. Jake does have Candy Guardy, and it's just going for it off the Rippity. Not even thinking about it. Just Candy Guardy. We're going Candy Guardy. Wait, did we have that? Was that in the hand in the last turn? Am I just trolling? Jake's getting aggressive here, though. Oh, there was the Mirage Step, but there was the reversal energy, so it wouldn't have been possible. And literally what I said could come up happened. It did happen. There's a reversal energy. So the Mirage Step wasn't possible because of how Jake played out the energy last turn, but putting the 2 on the Zacian does lead to this hit. So we went Candy Guardy, punch with Zacian, getting aggressive here with the Zacian off the rip here from Jake, or on this turn 2 from Jake. Jake is swinging. There's not much else to go with it, though. There's not much else to go with this. I think you're just swinging here, though, as Jake. I think he's got to put some damage on these Tinas. Start to set him up. Jake thinking about just using the ability? No shot. We're swinging. We gotta do something here, right? Screamtail KO Comfey. It's pretty slow, and then you're just going to see another Abyss Seeking from Bradner. And that actually, if you did go Screamtail KO Comfey here, I think Bradner would consider just going a triple Tina game plan at that point. To like open up with and like not put another one prizer in play. Depends on what the hand is for Bradner, though. We haven't seen it yet. Here comes that 120 punch. Early punches like this are nice, but when your board is this underdeveloped, I mean, no draw power on board here. And there's another Colress for Jake. Not Jake. Colress for Bradner, which is exactly what Bradner wants to see. There's an Artisan as well. The big question is what was on the bottom of the deck, and I think it was like double Mirage Gate. Double Mirage Gate Colress. Actually, this was the last Colress, right? There was a Colress on the bottom of the deck, and there was a Colress in the Lost Zone. And then there's this Colress. That's all the Colress right there. Doesn't use the Artisan. Favors these cards instead. Path is nice. Nest Balls are questionable. Roxanne's really good, of course. Especially with these aggressive hits, the Roxanne becomes like a better potential play here. You give up. You have the Artisan to work with here as well. I guess the question is more so, do you want access to your Greninja through this Nest Ball? Maybe more so than anything. The Artisan can find you the second Comfey to work with. Do we take a Nest Ball here for the Greninja or not? Favoring the Roxanne, especially with this aggressive damage coming in from... I think you'd love to like... Ooh, going back on it. Okay. If we do set up Greninja aggressively though, that does lead to setting up Greninja aggressively here does lead to us kind of being able to like trap Ralts potentially for quite a while. But I do feel like we definitely want to bump this Artisan here though. For sure. Actually, was the Greninja prized? Is KOization right? Oh, can we get to 7 here? If we can, I don't see why not, to be honest, actually. Yeah, KOization here seems fine. Path KO seems chill. Stadium bump, we do get return KO'd by a Guard EXO if the stadium gets bumped though. Let's see. Where's the Comfy? Oh yeah, because we went Abyss Seeking Colress Comfy. Oh yeah, we're there. And you could even attack with the bench Tina as well, right? Oh wait, this is actually kind of sick. Oh yeah, or you could switch card the active one. I honestly don't know which of those two is better, but it's all here. It's all here. Yeah. We can get the KO here. Being aggressive seems pretty cool. There's the nope, maybe not the nest. Hold up, wait. I'm just thinking. Okay, there we go. Ninja take. How many energy are in the deck? I want to see that. Grass, water, psychic. Okay. I think we're seeing an aggressive swing here from Bradner for sure. It has the path to re-counter that Artisan. Nice. That's a literally. I honestly, this is probably the best flower selection we've seen from Bradner, besides the VIP pass ones. That's like a really good. That's a really good one right there. Get the Tina V-Star. Get rid of the extra Comfy. We're cooking now. All right. Dude, we might be tied up after this one, to be honest. We might be going 3-3 after this one. That was a really good one. Something good. Grass, water. Oh, grass, psychic. Keep around the water. I like that probably. Probably makes a little bit more sense to keep around the threat of the Greninja still. You're probably just going to jet up the Tina, go for a lost impact on the Zacian. You can even leave 2 energy on the Tina as well. I guess the question is, do you attack with a full HP Tina or the damaged Tina? With the switch card healing, you do get yourself out of that Guard EX range, but I honestly have no clue which one's correct here. Wait. You do just get yourself out of that range, but then you could go Teleportation Burst into Guard EX next turn. I think to play around that, you probably attack with the fresh Tina, actually. Yeah, you probably attack with the fresh Tina. As another gate that could be, you could use this gate here as well. Thin out the deck a little bit more before this concealed cards, or just concealed cards. Hold the gate for a little bit here. Tina has 90. It does get KO'd by Guard EX. Wait, how much does Guard EX do? Oh, dude, what the fuck? Dude, I thought in my head Guard EX did 170 damage. I don't know why I thought Guard EX did 170 damage. In my head, Guard EX did 170 damage, but in reality, it does a little bit more. That's crazy. All right, the hand actually doesn't have that many options here for Bradner, so maybe we do see the gate just get played to thin out the deck. But do you really want to put energy on that damaged Tina on the bench? Probably not, to be honest. You probably are just kind of preserve it just because of the threat of a counter catcher Guard EX KO. You could just like get rid of the jet and the psychic off the bench, unless you need that psychic. And in that case, if you need that psychic on that bench Tina to either be in the discard pile or stay in play, maybe you do go search out that water energy off the Mirage Gate here. I don't know where all the energy's at here, but here comes that lost impact. Jet's going, and I assume the psychic off the bench has to be going as well. You got to keep the grass psychic in play here. We'll see though. Okay, looking good. First 2 prize cards, and like, yeah, no draw power here for Jake at all. There's nothing. We're hoping for like Iono top deck or Refinement top deck into something else. How are the prize cards good? Cram's good. Cram is very good. Battle VIP pass, that's kind of bad. Ralts push. No step angle. Oh, just a psychic away. Did it bench the Mew last turn, which also could have led to a Refinement Curly just to draw cards? I got nothing here. I don't know what you do here. This is tough. This is tough. It's just the bench Crystal. It's not even gonna bench the Mew here. Okay, now we see the Mew getting reconsidered. I think I gotta give yourself something here, right? I think you gotta play the Mew. Gotta give yourself something here, I feel like. Maybe not. Yeah, Mew bench, pass it back over. Ryder has the boss, but are we in Star Requiem range? We're at 9, so you could jet up the Comfy, boss the Guardy. I don't know, Star Requiem looks pretty good here. Just go down to 2 prize cards, put a Cram in play. If there's any response to your Tina, you just have Cram to respond back. Maybe even Gate as well. Just put a bunch of energy in play as well. I don't hate it. I don't hate getting a little bit aggressive here, just trying to progress as much as possible before the Ionos start to hit, and you have that many more prize cards to amount to come back from. So yeah, I think just getting super far ahead here makes the most sense. I think. Gaming the Ralts also isn't bad though, because Ralts is like, you could maybe you do play it slower, maybe you just cram the Ralts. Maybe you do just cram the Ralts. You could play it a little bit slower here. Maybe evolve to both Tinas now, gate to both Tinas. Have both Tinas set up, just start swinging with cram, and then look for the boss to close out the game a little bit later. I don't hate that either. Is aggressive with this gate as well before the Comfey use. So both Tinas being set up fully here. I guess that's probably going to happen no matter what. No Greninja threat now. The Greninja would have been interesting too. KO the Ralts, KO the other thing. Gate versus Rod. There's 2 gates left, I believe. Goes for the gate. Still have this other Rod in the hand, of course. I don't know how many energy in the discard pile if that combo was going to be used now. I guess you could just Rod for 2 energy right now as well. Or gate, excuse me. You could thin out the deck like fully from those. Just get a bunch of stuff in play. You even set up the Sableye maybe with a Psychic is possible as well. You could go like bench Psychic or bench Sableye, put a Psychic on it. There is no Jirachi in play yet. And then you could go boss, KO the Guardy, go from there. There's what, Psychic in the discard pile, that's kind of it. Maybe just hold on to those resources for now. Star Requiem still feels pretty good here. Honestly, like Cram Punch, KO the Ralts also still feels pretty good here. It's hard to say there's a bad play. The one thing I can think of with the Star Requiem play is like it's awkward to get your Tina from the active to the bench maybe next turn, especially if you get Iono'd. So if you just swing with Cram here, you can always just like swing with Cram or Cram again. But yeah, if you do Star Requiem, the Gardevoir EX, like having to lost impact something next turn would be awkward, it feels like. Yeah, like having to lost impact something next turn would be awkward. And yeah, it looks like Bradner agrees, and even is going to go as far as using this last Mirage Gate here. Probably 1 to each Tina, I would assume. Maybe we're going to split it up a little bit more than that, though. Grass is going to the Comfey. Undecided. Going somewhere. I don't know where they're going, though. Water's prize. The threat of Greninja wouldn't be terrible, though. I don't hate the energies to the Greninja here, to be honest. And then the grass to the... I don't know. You tell me. Oh, going to the Cram for the potential to remove it? I feel like if your Cram doesn't die, though, like, I think we're still cooking. Does want the potential to move the Cram. I don't hate that. Now you do have the threat of that Star Requiem on the Guardy EX. Which, I don't know, that does put you in a pretty good spot, right? You get that water. I don't know what the best prize card is here, but the water I feel like is not bad. Sick top deck there for Jake. It's going to be the Mysterious Tail, and honestly, there's not you can't even get a refinement here. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, pass. I guess. You appreciate the 3 months there, time. Nice to be the pass. Or attach a Guardy EX, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. The Cram's kind of tearing us apart here. Now I think we'll see the retreat Star Requiem, the Guardy EX here. Well, you could get Counter Catcher Iono to 1. Are you really that scared of that? I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, Bradner could just swing into the active. You could retreat. All-Star Requiem, the Guardy EX. Bradner's going to go the aggressive route. Now, Iono Counter Catcher is like a possibility for a comeback here. 2 energy in the discard pile now. So using Super Rod here kind of makes sense. Play around Iono a little bit. So that way you have... All right, and it's just going to be the concede. It's just going to be the concede. All right, we're tied up. 3-3. 3 for Jake. Now we've seen 3 for Bradner. You want to maximize odds for Colress or just Comfeys? I guess off the rip, maybe it is just Comfeys. Switch versus boss. Honestly, I kind of like the switch. I think we just want to play the game. He's deciding to go with the boss, though, it looks like. Yeah, I kind of want to get that switch card just so I can use more Comfeys over these next couple turns. But, yeah, I mean, you can't hate the boss. The boss is a pretty big deal in this matchup type, so you can actually pressure the Guardy EX, have the threat of KO Guardy EX. Like, pretty important. So I don't hate that grab there of the boss, of course, but... And obviously wouldn't use all the switch cards on this first turn, but I'm thinking ahead to the next turn to get from Comfey to maybe that Cram or something like that. We do need quite a few switch cards. And we have seen, I think that we've seen a big difference here in these games where we do see the early Cram attacks, right? For Bradner, and really starting to put on the pressure on Jake from like turn 1 or turn 2 on. We see a big difference in what Jake is able to do as the Guardy player. And the Cram is a pretty big difference, I think. It's a pretty big difference maker. Early Cram swings versus not early Cram swings. Actually, switch card could be that difference maker on this next turn to actually get off that early Cram swing potentially. So I think there was double jet prize there, actually. I wasn't paying full attention, but yeah, Cram's a pretty big deal in this matchup. It definitely feels like. Tina versus Energy. Energy's the retreat option. You don't need the Tina this early, to be honest. But with no Battle VIP pass, we do need to find our basics at some point. I feel like we got to commit to the Tina here. And hope that Colors can be found off these next couple flower selectings. Early path doesn't make too much sense. So I don't think we're going to see that. All right, let's see what Jake is cooking with. All right. Got some decent options here. Might be an early worker here from Jake, though. It's one less out to those paths to the peaks as the game progresses, and we might see Bradner respond to that by being pretty aggressive with the paths. We haven't seen like any terrible. Honestly, I don't know what the name of the Curlia's attack is anymore. The Curlia that searches for more Curlias. I don't think we've seen it be prized yet for Jake. It's always been an option. We haven't seen it be utilized every time. A lot of Refinement Curlias have been prized, though. So Refinement Curlia is prized here, unless it's in the hand. But we'll probably see the lineup for the Mirage Step. The last couple games, the Mirage Step has not happened for Jake, but you know Jake wants to be stepping, so... Collapse is prize here as well, so early worker... Whoa! Get another thing off the VIP pass! Don't forget! Alright, there we go. Double Ralts coming off the VIP pass here. We had a Ralts in hand, though? I guess it makes sense, though. We do need 2 energy, so I guess the worker's gonna come out here. Yeah, so the early worker is not something you want to do here as Jake, but... Yeah, the early worker is not something we want to. We want to save these for path bumps. We want to be open paths with these, but we do need to somehow find this refinement. Yikes. That's not great. Does this Fall Crystal ever lead to the Mew now? That's tough, because then if that is tough, because then Bradner could just choose to not take a knockout, and then the Mirage Step's not possible. But otherwise, you're living off your top deck here. You live off the top deck here as Jake, or do you go for the Mew? Looks like it is a Mew lineup here from Jake. That's tough. That is tough. And then you're retreating to the Mew this turn, I assume. I don't think we're waiting. But then Bradner can choose to not knock out your Mew, and then you can't Mirage Step. And then, actually, your board gets kind of weird for Jake, because then you have Mew Cresselia in play. And then you kind of have to bench Manaphy to protect from Greninja. And then if we're not Mirage Step, we have to bench a third Ralts. And then we don't have bench space for Jirachi. Things can start to like snowball into a pretty awkward board pretty quickly here for Jake. But, I don't know. That's how Guardy functions in the past, so. Now we have this VIP pass. Did we just get Ralts Greninja? Do we get Ralts Manaphy? Do we give up on the Mirage Step? Nothing is forcing Bradner to take that knockout with the Cram over Abyss Seeking, to be honest. So, we'll see. Also, the hand still isn't live yet. So, do we just get Manaphy Ralts here? We maybe do just get Manaphy Ralts here as Jake. Maybe not even going to go for the Manaphy here. Is eyeing up the Ralts. Maybe just eyeing up the Manaphy. I kind of like both, to be honest. Okay. So, we're living on a top deck here. If Bradner KOs the Mew, and if Bradner doesn't KO the Mew, then our bench is a little awkward and not Mirage Steppable. What Bradner can put together here, though, is there that potential for the Cram KO on this Mew? Cram KO Mew here is like... Oof, Path versus Jet is tough. The Jet's so good, and honestly, for the current hand, Abyss Seeking looks like it might have to be the route we go. So I feel like it's got to be the Jet here for Bradner. Gotta hedge your bets against not being able to find the Colress or something this turn. Back into the flower selecting. If we whiff Colress here, it's Tina time, and we whiff the Colress here. It is Tina time, everyone's favorite. Turn 2, Abyss Seeking from Tina, but there's no Mirage Step potential here from Jake. And even if the Cram was available here for Bradner, like I said, going for it doesn't even feel that strong here because you open up the Mirage Step for Jake. So going like by doing this play, you take away the Mirage Step. Already a grass in the lost zone. I feel like we got to go for this grass and give up on a Tina. We've already haven't found that our basics. It's gonna be tough to find basics moving forward. I'm pretty sure Bradner's only on that 3 nest ball life. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to find basics. We haven't found our Cram yet. We need to find our second Tina. Sableye's currently in our hand for now. Honestly, should Bradner have just benched this Sableye in case of an Iono? Maybe not. Maybe. And then also maybe... Yeah, also getting a second grass here feels tough. I think you can't do that. Bradner really wanted that Tina, though. Yeah. Okay. What does Jake got? We're basically committed to... Yikes, his tail's got to go hard. We're basically committed to no step at this point, I feel like. Oh, it's a VIP pass. Oh, no. And with no Curly evolves here, Bradner's going to know that Jake is living off this Mew. Bradner's gonna know for sure that Jake's living off this Mew. Does Jake ever retreat this Mew? to try and conserve it. That feels a little weird. But you maybe do. At this point, I feel like you got to bench the Ralts as well. Or, as Jake here, do you just pass and hope to top deck and then go into the Mirage Step from there? I don't hate that from Jake either, to be honest. Jake could just go, all right, pass. You KO my Mew, I push up Ralts. If I top deck Mirage Step, we're cooking. If I don't, I guess we're going game 8. It is the retreat. We are going to preserve the Mew here, it looks like. Going for a Ralt send up as well. And then bench another Ralts at that point. There's the boss in the hand for Bradner. And the way Jake played this turn as well basically telegraphs to Bradner that my Mew is very important. So we got the boss in hand here for Bradner, but what's it called? It's one of the guys. Cram. No Cram. But actually, could we go switch cart, use Comfy, Mirage? How many are in the Lost Zone? If there's 6 in the Lost Zone here, we could go Comfy, Mirage Gate, Retreat, Boss. Opts to not. Really clean Colress there. VIP Pass and Manaphy bite in the dust. I think we want to get aggressive here, though, as Bradner. If it's a Shred, sure. I don't know what other options we have here, but I think we want to do something more than chill. More than chill for sure. Shred's doesn't feel great. Wait, are we at 10? Am I trolling? Can we get to 10? Oh, can we get to 10 here? I don't actually know, because Bradner did that, but then I don't know if what we're at right here. We could still gate again. It says 8. That says 8. That means 10. That's a Sableye. That's going to KO the Mew off the bench and start to build up more damage in play. Or, honestly, you don't even need to KO the Mew at this point, to be honest, right? Who cares about KOing Mew? Let's KO the Manaphy and threaten Greninja, maybe. I actually don't know what... I'm actually curious to just see what Bradner does. Because I don't know what I would do. Throw water out there. Boss versus Roxanne. Gonna go with the aggressive round. Line up the boss. I do like that. We still have another Roxanne left. And yeah, we're being aggressive here, so... Body Mirage Gate. Just to thin out the deck. You just want to get all the energy out of the deck. Make these... Oh, the water versus the cold. Should we give up on Greninja when we have this aggressive Sableye? Oh, that sucks, because like, this would be an opportunity for you to use Sableye to go after the Manaphy, and then open up the possibility of Greninja. And then you have the Greninja, you're threatening with Greninja. Now, yeah, unless I missaw there, I'm pretty sure we're at 10 here, which means the Sableye's online. The shredding here feels a little weak. But honestly, shredding here doesn't seem terrible. But I think we want to take advantage of Sableye while we can, because as soon as we take a knockout here, we could see that Jirachi come down. There's the path. I wish it was a Lost Zone counter like at Regionals. I can see what I can do for the next one. We might be able to do a Lost Zone counter, to be honest. We might be able to make that work. Ever Boardlock? Yeah, we could go for the Boardlock here. I don't hate that as well. This is like punished by like Candy Guarded Cresselia, I guess. Yeah, Candy Guarded Cresselia would punish this. There's a refinement. Okay, is Jake gonna get the punish here? Yeah, I feel like Candy Guarded Cresselia KO the Sableye here. It's a pretty good response. Should Bradner have just drawn some prize cards and put some damage in play? Let's see how this goes. There's a candy! There's a candy! He's got the candy! Oh, wait, we can't do it yet. We need to move the path to the peak. We're not there yet, but we have another refinement on the way. Could Ultra Ball away the Deoxys pieces. Refinement away the Jirachi, I guess, at this point. We don't got space for it anyways. Gotta find that stadium bump. Yeah, it's gotta be the Curly Grab. It's the only thing that sees us more cards, so... I think there is a Super Rod in hand here for Bradner. So Bradner could recover the Sableye, get it back in play, and then clean up these Curlias. That is possible. Oh, this makes sense. You want to evolve the active Curlia for sure. Because you want to candy the Ralts into the Gardevoir. Although, hold on. If we get a reversal energy here, we could have candied the active into Shiny Arcana, use the reversal just to KO this Sableye. Gotta keep the Shiny Arcana, right? I don't even have bench space to use this Jirachi yet. Get rid of the Jirachi every time. No shot. Reversal not active? Oh, true. Reversal's not active. Good call. Good call. I kind of just assumed. We don't have bench space for the Shiny Arcana. There's no way. No way! If we whiff here, don't we Candy Shiny Arcana and pray? Oh, and it is a whiff. Yeah, this Sableye is about to do work. In the pass. All right. Back over to Bradner, who's got a great setup cooking here. Sableye can attack another turn. KO both Curlias from play. Could also look to KO the Mew plus a Curlia maybe. Options for days. Nest Ball in hand to maybe go for the Greninja to make that a threat. Of course, the Manaphy's still in play. Boss as well. Can we ever see like a boss play here? I actually never see boss here. He's going to go for the Cram. Just have another attacker in play. Cram seems solid as well. A couple Psychics in the deck. Here's if there's a Super Rod in the hand. There's a Super Rod in the hand. Potentially recover the Sableye on the next turn. I assume we're just going to see a Colress get played here. Keep going through the deck. Keep progressing. Try and get another Tina down. Maybe a Tina V-Star for the Tina as well. I'm trying to think of like the value of a boss play here. Honestly, bossing Manaphy does take away the potential of Mysterious Tail. But with this board state, Mysterious Tail does not seem very strong. Yeah. Great Colress here. Looks like going to be Roxanne, Mirage Gate, Psychic. I can't go wrong with those. I wonder what the debate is on this. I guess the Pokegear is like the only thing to consider. Do you ever just take the Pokegear over? I don't think so, though. Ooh, I was going to actually go with the Pokegear over the Psychic and the Mirage Gate. That's interesting. Going to give up a Psychic here. Okay, okay. I don't hate it. The Pokegears are good to try and close this out. You just need Boss to Star Requiem to close this one out at the end. We still are short a Tina V-Star. But by killing both of these Curlias, there's no real threat to our Tina for probably a little while. So value in the Pokegears just to recover from the Ionos. The Gate can only get a Psychic right now, so we could see like a Super Rod Gate combo here, but I feel like you're probably waiting to use this. There's not really any great targets for this Mirage Gate energy, to be honest. So if we got another Tina there, maybe we would see it. But I think without the Tina there, I don't think we're going to see either the Gate or the Super Rod get played here. We'll see, though. Maybe she wants to set up a little bit further. Honestly, the Grass energy coming down to a Comfey isn't bad to like set up the pivots on the Comfeys for later. I think it's probably the thought here. Just get like your board state more established just to respond. Here comes that Lost Mine. Is it going to be the double Curlia KO? That feels like the best play here to me. And it looks like it is. We'll have 2 damage left to work with, I believe, as well. Where should this go? Maybe to the Manaphy, so you threaten the Mew plus Manaphy knockout. Or Manaphy plus another Comfey knockout. Or Ralts, excuse me. So that makes sense in my head. You put some on the Cresselia so you could KO Cresselia with Cram later. Or does it make more sense on the Mew, actually, instead? He's going with both to Mew. Both to Mew. I guess it's the same thing, right? If you put them on Mew, it's the same thing. Is it like the same thing? It feels like the same thing. I don't know if it makes a big difference. Another Gate is great. Comfey, not so much. All right. We need a top deck from Jake, though. Thinking about setting up I mean, what else would you say? You could send up the Cresselia just to use it for 40 damage, I guess, but you're not winning. But what is the Mew going to find? What can Mysterious Tail even find here? Here comes the Mysterious Tail. Super Rod! Dude, these Mysterious Tails have been terrible, bro. This is so bad. Ralts is coming down, but Sableye is just feasting. Oh, wait, we have the Jirachi finally. Okay, we recovered. We have the Jirachi finally. It was feasting, though. There was a lot of feasting going on from the Sableye, but we do have the Jirachi to protect now. Jirachi Protect. It's not attack. It just searches for energy out of your deck. Honestly, a Ralts here seems better than the... Oh, gonna go the Deoxys route. Just wants something to attack with. Heavier hitter, heavy HP. Back over to Bradner. Tons of options in the hand. What is Bradner going to go for is more so the question than anything. The Sableye can KO the active. Cram can KO the active. You don't have the V-Star yet to KO the Guardy. The Gates aren't doing very much. Maybe just play a Colress, continue to thin out the deck and set up more plays. Getting another... what's called a bunch would be nice. Boss KO Ralts. Boss KO Ralts is cool too. I actually like that. Yeah, the Boss KO of the Ralts is pretty cool. Conserving your Sableye isn't that big of a deal, though. I almost feel like... I guess it doesn't really matter one way or the other. Oh, but going into Comfeys. We're digging with Comfey here, it looks like. Oh, the Avery is ridiculous here, right? Is it? That's so annoying to deal with. You are settling for KOing the Mew. The Jirachi has to be... So it would be discard Manaphy and Cresselia. So it'd be discard... Maybe it's not that good. The Avery does seem annoying, but it would just lead to discard Manaphy and Cresselia. The Jirachi, the Ralts would stay. Then you'd KO the Mew. But this is the last time you're going to really get a ton of... This would be the most value you probably get from the Avery at this point. I think this is the most value you're getting, is Avery this turn. It does create Greninja to be a threat. That is something. But Pokegear for the Colress, so I assume the Colress is getting played here instead from Bradner. Does want to get the Tina V-Star in play. That's a big one, to be honest. Also, the Tina V would be nice as well. Greninja. Gonna give up on the Greninja at this point. It's gone. Actually, did a water get lost zoned earlier? Water is lost zoned. Oh, okay, okay. Yes. Great cards left. Has his grass in hand. We could see that make its way onto the Comfey, so we hard retreat the Comfey with the Jet, or I guess with the grass, and then we have the Jet on there to have it be able to pivot through an Iono. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the... Is the Cram better than the Sableye here? Which one's actually better? I actually don't know. It's like the same thing, right? But I guess the Sableye has more potential as the game progresses. The Cram is tankier. I don't know if it makes a difference to attack with Cram or Sableye here, to be honest. It's like about the same thing, right? Maybe you want to send the Sableye in the active so it gets KO'd so you can Super Rod the energy back to the deck. Sableye kills the active Cress. Well, I'm assuming if the Cresselia is attacking, though, the Cresselia is KOing the Sableye. But we do know Jake does not like to KO Sableye with Cresselia. Likes to punch the Tina, so I guess that would maybe be a reason. I don't know if that is a reason. Is that a reason? I don't know. Let's see what we got the prize cards here. Is it good? That's pretty good. Jet Energy is not bad. We'd love to see the Jet Energy. All right, Iono top deck. Is that enough? I don't know. We're going to find out. Iono top deck is a start here for Jake. Honestly, the Ralts send-up is interesting there from Jake, though. I don't know if I like that Ralts send-up, though. Where's the Ralts leading to? What do we want to do this turn? Honestly, Cresselia KO Sableye here looks pretty good here for Jake. Super Rod ever a consideration with the Shiny Arcana in there. I mean, you do want another Ralts here, kind of. Maybe we do just hit up this Super Rod here. Ralts, Shiny Arcana. We did put the Deoxys back earlier, so I feel like we got to get the Deoxys V-Star now because of that. He for real would deck out here without Oxys or Roxanne. No, he had a Super Rod in hand. He would have been fine. He's only 3 prize cards away from winning. That's a pretty good draw there. Being sarcastic, obviously. Is it going to be Attach Retreat to Cresselia to at least force the Sableye? I feel like that's got to be the play here. Attach Retreat to Cresselia, Refinement away a Psychic. Hope to be able to find a way to KO the Sableye. Like this Curlia here. If Artisan's still left in the deck, we want to see like Artisan, bump the Stadium, get a Ralts, knock out Sableye on the bench. Let's see. Ball does get that Ralts. This does force the Sableye out of Bradner. It's possible that it's stuck here for a turn, though. Let's see what Bradner's got in the hand. There's a Psychic, so we can see the retreat to the Sableye. Keep this aggression up. There's a Pokegear as well. So Boss is a possibility here. We could just see a Star Requiem on the Gardevoir EX. Honestly, Star Requiem Gardevoir EX here sounds pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just like Star Requiem this Gardevoir EX. Is that ever too aggressive? I don't know. Could just go Sableye Knockout. No Boss to work with. Oh, dude, honestly, though, that Avery hits, though. The Avery hits. Yeah, Avery is still pretty good here. Probably the last good turn for Avery, I feel like. I keep saying that, but then the next turn, Avery's still pretty good. Yep, there's the Avery. You got to get rid of Manaphy and Ralts, right? It's got to be Manaphy Ralts here, I feel like. Still no Tina here from Bradner. That's probably why Bradner was debating getting that other Tina so heavily. Was because there was a Tina prized. Dude, is there a potential for the comeback here? So the Sableye KOs the Cresselia. If... Oh, we're even going to see a Mirage Gate come out here. Oh, there's no energy left. Was that a mistake there? Or just trying to burn them? Maybe just... Well, if maybe just wants one in deck to combo with Super Rod, but you don't want two because it's kind of overkill. Probably just burning it to make sure it's not... Shuffling deck for Boss. Oh, that's also true. Shuffling the deck for the Boss makes sense. Yeah, everything's out. Here we go. Sableye KO active. We could see the Countercatcher KO Tina here this turn coming up from Jake. There's still 3 prize cards left here from Bradner. All right, that's it. Knockout. Down to 2 prize cards. But we know Jake's hand is not great. And needs to draw something here. Iono top deck is perfect, though. That's exactly what you want to see. It has the draw power from the Refinement and the Shiny Arcana. We're looking for that Countercatcher KO on this Tina, I feel like. Another Iono and Worker. Worker bumps the Stadium. Doesn't guarantee a Countercatcher. You could Scream Tail this turn, I guess. Higher chance of getting the Countercatcher if you play the Iono. You could check with Shiny Arcana first. If you see the Countercatcher, then you... You need like a reversal as well, right? I think it's got to be like Evolve Iono here. You need so much. I think it's got to be Evolve Iono. Also, you kind of want to kill the hand here of Bradner as well. Just going to start with that shiny card. There's the counter catcher, though. Hold up, hold up. Is it a worker angle? KO that Tina off the bench. Still got to regroup from there. It's not over at that point, but... How many energy do you need to KO this thing? Wait, how do you retreat? Oh, true. You have to attach to the Jirachi to retreat. I forgot about that part. Oh, the Jirachi promote was maybe a troll. Oh, no. Hold up. We could see some Screamtail action here, though, still. I forgot about the Jirachi retreating. I forgot about that. Because you can't retreat and reversal. Is it like a counter catcher up a Comfey angle here? Or maybe you counter catcher the Tina and just... You could counter catcher up a Comfey and Screamtail the Sableye? That's not great. That's not great. You appreciate the 51 months there, Heisenberg. And 4 months there coming in from Eggplant. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I'm gonna sit back and let Jake cook, and we'll see what Jake comes up with here. Getting out the deck, last Pokemon to get here. Goes for the Deoxys. I don't know what Deoxys' other attacks are. I don't know if they're any good, to be honest. Deoxys is coming down. Maybe it's just counter catcher Iono next turn. Are we just gonna leave Jirachi in the active and pass here from Jake? I feel like KOing the Sableye makes too much sense, though. It looks like it's going to be a Screamtail KO Sableye, but then it's just a boss away from Bradner winning with the Star Requiem. You do just lose the boss here. You could play the counter catcher. You could play the counter catcher here. Reduce the odds of the boss play happening. Because otherwise Bradner has a Comfey to work with and the current hand. Oof, that's a lot. But he's definitely KO the active here. The potential for the comeback is here, though, to be honest. If there's no boss in the hand, I believe. I actually don't remember. Playing around path here as well. Maybe 2 active, 4 bench to play around. Oh, actually, you don't even need 4 bench. You need like 2. You need 2 on the bench. Maybe you just put 3 so you can use the other attack as well, though. Gonna happen? I mean, you gotta KO the Sableye, right? You can't let the Sableye get this free KO on the active, because then we're just a cram away on the Jirachi. But I guess cram KOs your active anyway, so maybe you just... Well, I feel... Maybe that is fine to just not take a KO here. Maybe that works. But maybe you want the prize card as well. I don't know about that. I don't know where the second counter catcher is either, to be honest. I don't know where the other counter catcher is. If the other counter catcher's in deck, maybe we just YOLO bring up that cram and then snipe the Sableye, to be honest. Oh, we're loading up this thing. Load him up. Another one. Are we sniping the cram then at this point? If we're loading, why are we overloading this guy? Going to the DO. Yeah, I wonder what the extra energy on the Screamtail is for. Maybe to like go after the cram on the next turn. We're going after the cram this turn. Oh, we are going after the cram this turn. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, I don't know if the boss is in the hand. Apparently, chat knows though. And there's no boss in the hand. There's no boss in the hand. And it's a path top deck. Oh yeah, but I guess if you KO the Sableye, then the Comfey gets to... I guess if you KO the Sableye, then the Comfey gets to come to the active, right? But there's a Jet top deck. There's 2 boss in the deck, 7-card deck, Comfey for 2. No boss! No boss! Where's the second counter catcher? Can we counter catcher that Tina? Oh no, wait, we didn't use the other counter catcher. We have the counter catcher. Oh my gosh, is the comeback happening? There's 2 boss in the last 5 cards of the deck. Wait, but if you Iono here, you're gonna see the boss next turn. So we'll see Sableye boss next turn, right? It's still gonna happen. Because you're gonna get Iono'd and then you're gonna have Sableye boss next turn. So this is still over. The game is still over. Goes for the Super Rod. There's the retreat. No, maybe not. Rod the energy back, gate to the Comfey. Yeah, we can hit him with the spinning attack, to be honest. Spinning attack for a prize. Or you Sableye for a prize. That's also fine. And then if we find boss, there's the win on the next turn. Goes out of path as well. With 5 cards left in the deck, this is tough. I'm pretty sure it's not winnable. Yeah, with 5 left in the deck, it's going to be tough. Yeah, appreciate the 100 bits there. Marky Mark. Spinning attack unironically would have been good. It's okay. I don't know if it's worth doing. You could see Colress in the Super Rod doesn't make any sense, right? Because you want to get Iono'd into the last couple cards here. You definitely need to take a knockout this turn as well. Yep, here we go. Lost Mine. Is it with the boss or the last 2 cards in the deck? That could be it, right? Is there a switch card left though? Because if there's a switch card left, then you just win. Yeah, Iono like doesn't work at this point anymore. All right. Deoxys up. Have the counter catcher. But too many attackers on the board here. Just the 2. But that's all you need here, because the 2 boss are in the deck here. Arcana coming in. But if there was no boss in the hand last turn, then I guess you don't Iono here, right? Jake shouldn't Iono here, because there was no boss in the hand last turn, so you shouldn't Iono here then. As long as Jake knows that, Jake should just go counter catcher, KO the Tina. That's the only thing you would think is like, okay, is there a boss in those last 2 prize cards? If there is, then it's a 50-50 out of the prize cards, and you'd want that on the bottom of the deck. But honestly, the correct play here, I think, from Jake is to not Iono. Because, like, based on the hand from the last turn, you know there's no boss. Interesting. Why do you put over damage counters on the Screamtail? To KO the Cram last turn. Here we go. So it has to be a top deck boss. No, we have top deck plus. Oh no, it's the same thing though. We see still 3. Oh no, I guess we could. It could be the last 2 cards in the deck. Otherwise, it's draw 1, Comfy for 2, guaranteed. Okay. Sure. So, Bradner could have... Wait, maybe it's not even possible. Last 2 cards have to be Gear Boss. But there's 2 boss in the deck. Is there a Gear in the deck as well? Because then it's not possible to lose here. Yeah, I think it's impossible to lose here as Bradner. I don't remember what's in Bradner's deck, but there's definitely 2 boss in there. I think. Yeah, we'll see the prize cards or anything. The counter catcher's in the hand, which I think is the most important card. I'm pretty sure Bradner has game here. Is it guaranteed? It sounds like it's guaranteed. That's a Roxanne. Dude, is it possible to whiff? Zool, bro, I'm getting ads. Bro, I've got a fix for you, Ty. No way! Did he just whiff? That's incredible. No! Wait, it's not over there. Hold up. That's insane. The last 2 cards in the deck are boss, bro. So Bradner can go Super Rod, back Cram. Bradner can go Super Rod, back Cram, and then Super Rod, back Cram, Super Rod, back 2 energy. Play the other Super Rod, get another energy. Mirage Gate 2 energy to the Comfies. Play Roxanne. I'm pretty sure Bradner still wins because there's 3 prize cards left here. I was going to go for a Tina angle actually instead. Okay, I can see that. See the Tina angle. Yeah, I think I could see it. I mean, we still need boss to win, but I guess this way you can threaten the active as well. Jeez. All right, we'll see what he goes for here. Because I think you could just get like Cram double energy. Mirage Gate to 2 other Comfies. But it looks like Bradner's going to go for this. Play the Colress, draw all 3 cards. I get all 3, guaranteed. And then you can like Super Rod in back, 3 energy. And then bench the Tina, Mirage Gate to the Tina, bench a Comfy. Does this also guarantee the game? This feels like it guarantees the game. How would you ever lose? Is this losable? I don't think so. This feels unlosable. Bench the other Comfy. Chillin'. That's my guess. My guess is this is unlosable. I could be wrong. We could still see... I guess we could still see Counter Catcher Tina. Counter Catcher Tina. Do you pass or attack? You could attack with Sableye. That's true. You could attack with... No, but then you don't have the Comfy's retreat. But does that matter? Attacking with Sableye here seems correct. Because if you get Iono'd, you're going to draw into the energy off that one card. And then you'll be able to use another Comfy next turn. Anyways, I think it's still basically guaranteed. Yeah, I think it's still basically guaranteed here. We'll see. It's going to go with the Sableye hit for 120 on the active. So you are threatening the active here as well. That means Guard EX probably has to become your... Well, actually, I don't even know. Well, no, hang on. If you Iono here, would you like... Is there another cheese route here from Jake? Appreciate the 2 months there, Ruckus. And the Prime Sub Juice Profit. A lot of pineapples. We got plenty of... Holy smokes. The guaranteed shred, Tina. Oh, wait. We have Zacian. Oh, Zacian doesn't really do anything, though. I'm just trying to think if there's a way to, like... What about Boss Comfy and KO Sableye with Tail? Maybe? Jake's playing pretty fast here, so I feel like Jake has a route. And I'm just going to let Jake cook, to be honest, because I can't come up with anything. I don't want to think too hard. I've been thinking too much. That's their job. I'm just here to, like, vibe with chat. That's kind of insane, though. Iono takes away the V-Star on the boss. Iono does take away V-Star boss. And then you draw an energy, draw for turn. I think it is possible to whiff here. If you go Iono... Iono KO Sableye? Jake should know that that last card is an energy. For sure. Bottom 2 Roxanne V-Star, he loses. Yeah, bottom 2 Roxanne V-Star, he would lose. That'd be crazy. So it's not impossible. Yeah, you're right. That is it, right? What does Jake do here, though? Is it just Counter Catcher Comfy pass? No, Counter Catcher. Is it just KO Sableye? I guess it's the same thing, right? KO Sableye pass? Okay, that's fine, right? Oh, no, but you're drawing into an energy here, so you have to retreat. Oh. So we can't even KO the Sableye this turn. Because then the Tina just comes up and shreds us. You have to go retreat to Zacian pass? It's stadium as well. That makes sense. It's over? That's game? No. You can just retreat. We can just retreat here to Zacian. Retreat to Zacian. There's an energy in hand. So shred's possible. But if Bradner doesn't need to win this turn. Bradner can just attack with Sableye again and show. What's the top deck? It's boss. Okay. Yeah, that would have been kind of criminal if Bradner had lost that one, to be honest. That got close to it, though. It got close to it. Yo, Bradner is on the run back. 4 in a row. Started out 0-3. Jake went up 3-0. The run back from Bradner, 4 in a row. But we're not done yet. Best of 9. Going into game number 8. Coming up. On the menu. It's been a while. We haven't seen the step in a little bit. The step here is back. Mirage Step. All 3 refinements are in the deck. Okay, this is feeling good for a game 9. Let's see what happens. Feeling good for a game 9 for sure. Ooh, wait. Am I tripping? Is there a Ralts in the hand? I feel like there's not a Ralts in the hand. Am I trolling? Am I tripping? Am I trolling? Oh, there is. Okay, thank goodness. All right. There's gonna be a Manaphy off the level ball, protect the bench from the Greninja option. And then we have the Ultra Ball to get that step off on the next turn. The Worker might be played, it might not. We'll see. Appreciate the 2 months there. Captain ETF, and appreciate the gifted sub. Maka Rolama over to its Vers. Over to the pack Vers. Plenty of steps. We're all out of sugar. Astro Ralts or Cresselia. It doesn't matter. I honestly don't know. Honestly, I have no clue if it really matters here. He's going to hold the Manaphy for a turn. Though there's no threat of escape rope, so this is like fine. The only thing that could happen would be like a Cram Punches to the active, I guess. But Bradner has a pretty good hand here, though. Greninja, Nest Ball, Colress, Path. I mean, the Path's not whatever for right now, but it's around for later. It might be just an Abyss Seeking angle. We'll see. Because Colress Abyss Seeking here doesn't seem bad. gonna open up with the Greninja, actually. Cram. There is some potential for Cram Punch Cresselia. Cram Punch Cresselia is okay. Oof. Ooh, but the early Avery threat, that could go kind of hard. Early Avery Greninja combo. Bradner does not play rope, no. This is the most viewers I've ever had. This is the most viewers I've had. Appreciate everyone tuning in to check it out. I appreciate everyone tuning in to check it out. Definitely give it up the Manaphy here, that's for sure. Do we take the grass for more draw power with the concealed cards next turn, or do we just go for the Colress? Probably going with the Colress here. We probably just go for the Colress. Colress on the next turn, and then maybe look for the Avery Greninja combo the turn afterwards after we develop our board a little bit more. I think it's just an Abyss Seeking, though. It's an attached active Abyss Seeking. That kind of makes me wish we had the grass, to be honest. Then we can save the Jet for... Honestly, ooh, I don't know if I like that then. We could have given up the Colress there, attach grass active Abyss Seeking into Jet up a Comfey for some flower selections after that. But now I think it's just attach active and Abyss Seeking. I guess we could go bench Comfey, Jet up Comfey, use Comfey, retreat to Comfey, use Comfey. I don't know. I kind of just like the Abyss Seeking here, though. I think Abyss Seeking is probably the way to go. But, hold up. All right. It is going to be the flower selecting, and then I guess it will be the next wall for probably another flower selecting. There's switch cart. We will to move stuff around a little bit on the next turn as well. And this actually does give the potential. There is the potential now for the Cram attack, which is maybe what Bradner wanted to play towards to have the potential of, was that Cram attack. Cram into Cresselia, like I said, it's like, it's like, okay. It does line up. If you are going to see the Mirage Step happen, though, then Sableye can become a lot more deadly of a threat, because you KO the Cresselia, plus you can like pick up another KO if there's no room for the Jirachi on the bench. And if like Manaphy has to come down and Step happens, there's usually not room for Jirachi immediately. So then the Sableye becomes like a good option. So what Bradner chooses to go with here, though. It looks like it is just going to be a Cram Punch, though, for sure. See, last minute prize check-in, it looks like both waters are there, so the Threaded Greninja is real. I guess like thinking about that level ball for the Manaphy from Jake, I like it less and less, because if there was a water loss owned off the rip here, then if a water did get loss owned off the rip here, then probably go for the water though, right? Yeah, with the Avery in hand as well, like you have the setup for it. Colress this turn, water's in hand now, so then you have the Avery plus Greninja play on that following turn probably. I definitely think that's the correct way to go. Punch might lead to going away from Avery. That's fine though. Then you get rid of that Cresselia as like as a potential early game attacker or earlier game attacker. I think you'd be content with here as Bradner. But yeah, it is going to be that early Cram Punch, which never feels super efficient into the Cresselia, but you know, starting to get through it usually fine. Jake does have that step. Will the worker be held is a question here. There's another Fog Crystal, so we could just see Ultra Ball way 2. Psychics, play the Fog Crystal for a Psychic, retreat, Mirage Step for triple Refinement Curlia. Also probably benching Manaphy in that whole process for sure. They were probably benching that as well. Or do we play the worker? Do you just want to draw cards here? I think you're probably trying to save the worker. And keep that around as outs to path. We'll see though. Maybe just want to see more cards. This is all always happening. Well, that's not true. If we play the worker, then that doesn't quite all always happen. And it looks like the worker's not going to get played here. Otherwise, I'd assume you'd play the worker before playing the Fog Crystal and the Ultra Ball. I don't think we're seeing any worker action. Just saving the worker for next turn to respond to a potential path to the peak, which is in Bradner's hand. I don't know if Bradner's going to play that path next turn, though. We'll see. There it is. Refinements are in. Refinements are in. Or in the Lost Zone. So Sableye's not happening this turn, but it could come up in a turn or two. I don't think we're using the Avery this turn either. I think we're going to see probably that Colress into Cram KO and then save that Avery for the next turn would be my guess from Bradner here. I guess you could see the boss KO on the Manaphy here. There's only one card in hand. Have to find the Super Rod and then refine the Manaphy to protect the bench. And then the Greninja plus Colress combo could come in on the next turn. But split up the Lost Zone. Beacons. Ooh, that's a lot of good cards. Probably giving up one of those Tinas here if one wasn't prized. And then maybe giving up the grass, keep the Jet switch cart. Is going to favor that grass. Is there already a grass in the Lost Zone? There might be some prize as well. That could be another reason to grab it here. Jets are just so broken. It always feels really bad. Oh no, I guess we are keeping the Jet here. I guess we're gonna have a switch card. Doesn't feel as bad. Never feels quite as bad there. I wonder if we see anything else actually get played here from... Well, the switch card actually combos a little bit better with the Greninja's concealed card. Greninja's Avery play next turn to take the switch card here. Oh, but I guess we can conceal cards this grass this turn and just draw more cards. I guess that kind of makes sense. And I guess you could Jet this turn as well and just use the Comfey. Bradner goes with. I'm assuming the Tina is probably going to evolve into a Tina V-Star. And I also assume we're probably taking the Cram KO here. I guess there's an argument to there could be an argument to Abyss Seeking this turn just to have access to Sableye next turn to like keep them board locked out of Jirachi, but that doesn't seem that good. There's the ditch of the Comfey, so a little bit more. No Abyss Seeking, but progressing the Lawson a little bit more here. Oh, still has the Greninja play around too. Did Bradner forget about the Greninja? I feel like Bradner forgot about Greninja there. And now we see the Greninja coming in to happen after the flower selecting. All right, there's that gate for next turn. What do we get to? Did we get to 7 here? Immediately snaps for the Nest Ball. That is going to 7 here. Nest Ball does become Sableye or second Tina more likely. Oh, I didn't feel like there was a rush for the second Tina here. Bradner definitely feels different, or just wants a Nest Ball for the option of Sableye later. Might not even go get Tina right now, because yeah, it doesn't feel like there's too much of a threat on the Tina at all. And now does have that Greninja Avery play next turn, but I assume we're going to see a Cram knock out the active here. Tina being set up with no energy in play. Oh, but we're just going immediately for the gate. Not even to the Greninja. Going to the Tina off the rip here. Just getting the Tina set up, ready to go. Interesting. Feels weird to do that because now it feels like it's less likely you're going to be able to pull off that Greninja play next turn. Yeah, you're just well, it is just less likely. All right, there's the knockout on the Kirlia. Cram. That was basically always going to happen here. The question was just like, what else is going to happen around it? And throws out a path as well. Jake does have that worker ready to go as a response, though. Obviously, that start... Actually, I guess there's an argument to actually refinement first here, because you could draw into like Stadium plus Iono. And that might be the route you want to go, to be honest. I wouldn't hate to see the refinements coming first here, maybe. And that is what Jake's going to do. There's the Jirachi. I'm in on the Psychic next. Or do we keep that around to potentially attach and commit to the worker now? Commits to the worker. Another worker, a Greninja. No Gardevoir yet. I'm sure some kind of attack wants to come out here from Jake. Well, stronger than... A lot more draw power. Could even use the Radiant Greninja as well. Okay. 2 more coming in from Shiny Arcana. But if you do bench that Radiant Greninja, no room for the Jirachi on the bench. So there's that. Shiny Arcana coming in. There's the Guardian X. All right. All the options available here. And there's the Jirachi, protect the bench from that Sableye. Guardian EX. And Jake's favorite play, Cresselia Punch Tina, I think is on the way. I don't know what else he could KO Comfey here, but we've seen Jake always prefers to go that slower route, just set up some damage on those Tinas, so you don't really need Shiny Arcanas on your Gardevoirs later as the game progresses. I don't think it has attached return yet either, so the Psychic Energy could make its way to the Shiny Arcana Gardevoir to build that up a little bit further. We'll see what Jake opts for here. Maybe just going to hold it around for the next turn to have the option of some other stuff to do with it. Yep. And here we go. The Tina. There it is. All right, the Avery's in the hand here for... Avery's in the hand here for Bradner. Les doesn't have that gate to work with anymore. Committed to the Tina on that last turn. Committed to that Tina on the last turn, so... Greninja play isn't guaranteed this turn, or the threat of the Greninja play. But I think we're pretty close. I don't know what the Lost Zone's looking like. It's like 7, right? So I guess we're probably... We also can't get to Sableye with the Avery. Here comes... I mean, it's got to be Jirachi Manaphy get discarded here from Jake, right? I can't see you discarding anything else. There's no threat of Sableye, though, because we can't bench a third Comfey and the Sableye. And you don't really want to do that anyways. You want to put a Tina down. There's the gate. There's the switch. But that's it, though. Gate switch. You can go Greninja this turn from Bradner, KO Kirlia, and either punch the Shiny Arcana to just put some pressure on it, or just KO the Cresselia. Yeah, this is actually like an insanely good play here now. That draw was like everything. That draw was like pretty good. KO the Cresselia and the Kirlia here. That seems decent. That seems decent for sure. Like I said, you could also just hit the Shiny Arcana, put some more damage there. But honestly, just removing the Cresselia from play just seems kind of like the best. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. The water's in the deck, right? Oh, we could have Greninja'd first there. You could have Greninja'd the Psychic on 2 and then play this. Oh, but I guess you don't... No, but if... Oh, well, you don't want to draw into the water. Ooh. I guess that maybe makes sense to play it this way then. You do have 1 less energy in the deck overall, but you guarantee to not draw into the other water, I guess. The other questions here. Do we get another Tina with the Nest Ball? Looks like the answer to that is going to be yes. Do we play the Path to the Peak as well? There's another question here. That's like the only other thing to possibly do here. And then... could use Greninja, but probably just going to hold on to this Psychic Energy, I would imagine. The Path's coming down as well, so everything's being thrown out here. Where do we go, though? Kirlia's dying for sure. We're always getting rid of Kirlia. Do we KO the Cresselia, or do we punch the Shiny Arcana? Let's go for the Cresselia KO. We'll see. This is like a pretty good board state, I feel like, here for Bradner. This is when like the Tina deck almost feels like it's playing like a little bit too fast. The Ionos are going to start to hit pretty hard here. Oh, double VIP pass off the prize cards. Obviously not the prize cards you want. But yeah, we could see like a counter catcher play here with the Shiny Arcana, KO that damaged Tina. Although I guess with that, if the Worker is the play here, Worker really does not want to be the play here, to be honest. Yeah, you really don't want to play Worker here. You want to... There's counter catcher. You want an Iono counter catcher here, I feel like. And if you get the reversal, isn't that like keep it out of range? No, we're still short, right? Oh, but the Cram can't KO it, actually. Oh my gosh, that's every... No, wait, we workered into the... we workered into Iono. I wonder if Jake should have played Artisan first and then drawn with Greninja to hope that we get the Iono there. I wonder, maybe. I wonder. I feel like we could have like played the Stadium and then drawn with Greninja first. Try and get the... Because I feel like Iono is... Like the pressure of Iono is just so good here. We want to play it heavily for it. Yeah. If you don't get it, then you're trolling your Artisan. It's -1 Stadium. I mean, you're not trolling. It's just you missed. There's no such thing as a play that becomes a bad play after you play it. It was either a bad play to begin with or it was a good play to begin with. There's no in between. You do have the counter catcher KO on the Tina though, but lack of Iono this turn kind of stinks for sure. The Ralts getting steps pretty big though. You bench the Ralts, I guess. Like, are you scared of the Greninja attacking again? I guess like Greninja wouldn't KO your active Gardevoir anyways. You are kind of putting a prize card on the bench for Bradner to go after, because now Bradner could like Cram KO this Ralts or Sableye KO the Ralts. I guess Sableye's always KO in the active Shiny Arcana though anyway, so if Sableye happens to KO in the Shiny Arcana, but it does open up the possibility for that boss KO on the Ralts. Another Ralts. Bench 2 Ralts. I mean, Greninja likes that, I think. That's pretty good for Greninja. All right, we'll see how this goes. The Ralts are in. Betting on Bradner not having access to another Greninja play. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know where the Super Rods are. I think there's a Super Rod and a Gate left, though. There's like multiple Gate left, I think. I think there's multiple Gate left, yeah. Maybe I should load up this Guardy as well to play around that. There's only one path left. There's only one path left. Not committing too many energy. There's the counter catcher on the Tina V-Star, I assume. Made sure that Shiny Arcana was used. It was. All right. There's the knockout. I feel like Bradner has some pretty good options here. Oh no, did we lose Bradner's feed? We maybe lost Bradner's feed. We might have to just see it all from... Hang on, I'll message Bradner. Oh, maybe he DC'd though. Oh no. Oh no, he's still here. All right, we lost Bradner's feed, so we're playing from one side here. I don't know when we lost it, but I messaged Bradner to hopefully get it back. We can still see this side of the field at the very least. We can still see this side at the very least. There's, of course, yeah, there's the potential for the Greninja play. See if we can get the gameplay fixed. But I'll let Bradner, if Bradner is not, Bradner might not be able to fix it in between games. We'll just let Bradner focus on the game, and then if he can fix it after the game, that'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We might not be able to get it back until the next game. If he's able to fix it in between games, that'd be great. Might not need another game. We might not need another game. This might be the comeback. Might be the comeback. 5 in a row from Bradner is possible here. The board state is also is pretty shaky in general. The board state in general is pretty shaky here from Jake, but we can't see Bradner's hand, so we don't know what Bradner has cooking over there. Like I said, the Greninja play seems decent here. You could Greninja both Ralts, or do you like Greninja 1 Ralts plus the Guardy? There was a Colress play, so there's no boss play gonna happen this turn. There's the Super Rod. Let's see what's grabbed here. I mean, if the water energy gets grabbed, that's pretty telling as to what's coming. You need more. Honestly, though, but if that happens, it's not just over immediately on board. It's a pretty bad spot. You'll appreciate the 76 months there, Polyswag. Yeah, even if the Greninja happens here, it's not over on the spot. It's just tough. Seems tough. No water energy recovered. Okay. There's a Sableye. So it looks like Sableye KO the active is the play here. Goes down to 2 prize card. Does not have the Tina V-Star setup either. Just has the Tina V. At the last gate? I don't think so. I think there's one more gate left at least. One more gate left at least. What is the follow-up play going to be here from... Honestly, Cresselia seems pretty good here as a follow-up play. KO the Sableye. That was the last rod, though, yeah? I think that was the last Super Rod, yeah. That was the second Super Rod. So, no more Super Rods left. At least one gate left. I want to say there's at least one gate left here. I guess you don't have to KO anything with the Sableye, but I assume we're going to go Sableye KO the active here, right? This honestly doesn't seem that bad for Jake. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't seem that bad for Jake. We have the Iono for next turn. I don't think we're counter-catching the Tina. We're probably just KOing the Sableye. I guess the question is, what are we KOing the Sableye with? Yeah, that's the big question here, I think. I guess you could split up the damage here. Does that ever make any sense? I think we're always going after... I think we're always just KOing the active here. I don't see us, like, splitting it up here. Could we just go Zacian KO the Giratina this turn, though, from Jake? Counter-catcher Zacian KO Tina. How many freaking things do we have to put on it? 5? 4? 4 puts 80. That is a play here, right? But we definitely want to get Jirachi down to protect our bench, or... Jirachi to protect our bench. Am I trolling with that number? What did I say? 4? 20? Oh, no, I'm trolling. Yeah, it is 6. I don't know why I thought it was 4. 5 with attaching from hand, 100. So then the Sableye just return KOs us, so... Never mind, that's no good. I think it has to be KO active plus Iono here. I think, but KO active plus Iono here is not bad. The question is, what do we KO the active with? And honestly, I kind of lean towards Guardi EX and just not giving up a prize card on this next turn to a Cram. I think giving up a prize card to a Cram would be pretty bad. And if you get Star Requiem, I think you get Star Requiem here. Collapsed. Need that later, probably. Could play the Artisan, play the Ultra Ball to thin out like the VIP pass and the Screamtail. And then Artisan could find Cresselia for this turn. Cresselia doesn't seem bad as an attacker this turn either. Cresselia seems like the best attacker this turn. Cresselia KO Sableye seems really good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cresselia KO Sableye. But we need to find Super Rod. But if we put Artisan in play, then it would allow us to find the Cresselia after we play Iono if we draw into Super Rod. Jake's locked in, thinking... Going the Screamtail route? I don't know if I like the Screamtail route, but maybe going for some kind of like... Screamtail? Screamtail just... Anything that just dies to Cram feels bad here. But maybe you're going to bring up the Tina V and then Screamtail the Sableye around it? Is the plan here? Is there any Curlias in the deck as well? Can we go get a Curlia? Prices in discard? Yeah, I'm saying if like we Iono into Super Rod, we can then Artisan for the thing after that. Pretty sure there's some Super Rods left. Why not countercatcher Giratina plus Iono than Screamtail? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Jake does. That would be a reasonable play, I guess. Maybe try and trap the Tina in the active for a turn. Not playing the Ultra Ball. Wait, is there not... Is Curlia's in the deck to have gone and got there? Are they all in the discard? Actually, they are all in the discard, aren't they? There's Super Rod plus Level Ball. That's good. That's some draw power. Also, that's the Cresselia. That's the Cresselia. So we can go Cresselia plus Level Ball. Okay. Get back. Curlia, probably double Curlia. Maybe a Shiny Arcana. Maybe Curlia, Shiny Arcana, Cresselia. We're going for the Jirachi instead, so we're not going to go Cresselia here. That means we're giving a prize card to Bradner. I don't like giving the prize card up here. But yeah, the prize cards... Well, unless you attack with Guardi EX, I guess. You could attack with Guardi EX here, I guess. You could go Guardi EX knockout. Artisan for... I mean, if we got the Jirachi, I assume the plan here is now... Well, what is the plan here now? Now I'm just kind of confused. Is it get Jirachi... Get Jirachi, Screamtail the... Cramorant? Is that what we're going to see happen here? Wait, that's not going to work. Yo, spam the chat real fast. I appreciate it. All right, Embrace is happening. So it is the Screamtail. So I assume it's Screamtail, KO Cram. Like I think we have to KO the Cram here, and then KO Sableye next turn. But I feel like using Cresselia here was Cresselia KO Sableye felt so much better. Cresselia KO Sableye just feels so much better there because then the Cram can't KO it. Are we just punching Tina here? Just going for the Tina punch. Interesting. Where does this lead, though? I guess Guardi EX KO Tina? We need to get 2 more prize cards. That's so many turns. It's not back, right? Okay. Just want to check. We're literally just playing. We're only see from one side. I guess Jake is trying to get through the Tina without overly damaging something, which I guess I don't hate. That's like the plan here, I guess. But then we have so many prize cards to get through after that. So many prize cards to get through after that. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you just lose to boss from here on out as well. So it's got to be the Iono to 1. Iono to 1. I mean, if you'd gotten Cresselia, Iono to 1, Cresselia. It's tough, that's for sure, yeah. There's the Tina. So now Star Requiem is online as well with just a Psychic Energy. There's the Scratch Knockout. Being damage efficient, I guess. Being damage efficient. Curly send up. What is the plan here? I feel like it has to be Guardy EX counter catcher KO the Tina, right? Guardy EX counter catcher. We could also, to be honest, we could see Jake go Candy, Shiny Arcana, bench Zacian, evolve to Guardy EX, collapsed away Jirachi. It's a lot, but it actually is possible for there to be a boss-proof board. Yeah, Jake can actually make a boss-proof board. Zacian. Yeah, boss-proof board is possible, but if we get the Ralts, it's not possible. Is there a candy left as well? I don't know if there's a candy left. That looks like a candy to me. That's a candy. Is there a collapse left? The collapse is left, I think. The collapse is there. We could make a boss-proof board. Candy, Shiny Arcana, evolve to Guardy EX. It's a lot, but it's doable. Then we also need a counter catcher KO that Tina. We need a lot. No, the Ralts. Oh. Refinement's coming in as well on the Iono. I think we may want to keep one of those Ionos around just in case of a Roxanne. More draw power online now. Give up the Deoxys here. Iono is happening eventually here. All Crystal, grab a Psychic. Greninja draws 2 more. Close to the counter catcher. We do need the counter catcher here. Counter catcher Iono is the play. Then hope that there's no boss from Bradner. I mean, you might as well conceal it at this point, I feel like. Yeah, because I mean, if the Greninja gets bossed up stalled, then you're losing anyway, so. Shiny Arcana. Still no counter catcher yet. But actually, we could whiff. Counter catcher could be the last card in the deck, and then it is whiffable. Yeah, Bradner also has 2 turns to find it. Because, yeah, the collapse isn't possible anymore. Reversal attached to the Shiny Arcana. I mean, that seems fine to me. I don't know if it really matters. We actually almost got to the point where we had that boss-proof board. It was possible still. Uh-oh, the counter catcher could be the last card in the deck. Oh, so close. Okay. Now, you can't with the Guardy EX, though, I feel like, right? Don't you just counter catcher Tina, Accelerate Energy, the active, and then hope there's no boss here from Bradner. I don't know how many boss are left. There's some. He grabbed Ralts with it for counter catcher. Yeah, it's still an incorrect play, though. Like, you should play for the collapse play. That way you could like lock out the possibility of a comeback. I don't know how many boss are left or how many are prized or lost zone, but Bradner played pretty aggressively at rotating the bosses, so he can make his board state unbeatable next turn. It is possible, yeah. Next turn we could get the unbeatable board state or the unbossable board state, as long as he sees it. And just take the knockout with the Guardy, I assume. Yeah, next turn we could see Candy Guardy, evolve to Guardy, Candy Guardy, evolve to Guardy, and then collapse away the Jirachi would be the play. Yeah, boss's turn is a dub for Bradner. No pivot set up on the Comfy ahead of time, so it has this 1 card hand plus a top deck. And here we go, 190. Oh, still thinking about it. Is KO'd. What is going to get sent up for Bradner? If Bradner just pushes up the Cram, you know there's a boss in hand. We'll see the Comfy come up for a turn to dig for that boss. Oh, the Comfy set up. Okay, we're still in it. You just can't see the other side of the board. I mean, obviously there could still be an energy or switch card plus boss here as well. That's a pretty fast flower selecting. Okay. I feel like there's no way he has it if he's playing this slow. It's a jet. Hold up, we're not done yet. Here comes another flower selecting. We're a boss short right now. That was a VIP pass, this card. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say he doesn't have it, or he has a Pokegear in hand, is thinking about whether or not he should Pokegear this turn or hold it for next turn. Anything is. How many boss left? I don't know. I'm not sure. Another Comfy getting bench. Okay. It is possible for Jake to create a unbossable board here. Goes with the retreat into a Comfy. I don't think there's a if there was a switch card in hand here, I think you're always doing this off the rip. I doubt there's a switch card here. But the collapse is in the hand. Oh, wait, here comes a concealed. I guess you could get like switch boss here. No, he's got it! Dude, he had so much more than I thought he had there. And that is it. Bradner comes back. That is crazy. Bradner comes back from being down 0-3 to win 5 in a row. Taking away our game 9, bro. The game 9 was stolen from us. Damn, I really wanted a game 9, though. Game 9 would have been sick for sure. All right. Well, congrats on the dub. A comeback. From,
Thank you.
From 0-3 comeback. I was hoping that, yeah, yes. I mean, it started to snowball a little bit. I was hoping Jake would be able to get one of them so we could actually get a game 9, but I'm still pretty sick. So you opened up with some rough draw. What were you thinking in like the first 3 games? For like the first 2 games you opened really bad. Dude. Game 3 you had a little bit going, but yeah, how are you feeling after the 3rd game?
So game 1, it was like all right. Like I was actually in that game for most of it, and I was so mad. Like I should have benched Manaphy on the last turn of game 1. I was really mad I didn't bench Manaphy. Like I wasn't in a good spot anyways, but if I benched Manaphy instead of Comfy that turn, then his Deoxys doesn't poke my Tina.
Yep.
And so then he doesn't guaranteed win. Like it was I almost certainly would have lost, but like it was possible he missed a Psychic Energy. So I was frustrated after that game, but I was, it was fine because like, I mean, I never drew Tina V's. Like I still made it a close game. Game 2 draw pass was pretty rough. And then I saw my opening hand game 3, and I was down in the dumps. Like I was like, oh my god, no way. I just know chat's going crazy about like Tina hands right now. like this is the worst case scenario. And then I tapped that Comfy into Colress, and I was like super in the game. And then this game was really bad. I misprice checked, and I thought I had a Rod in my deck from turn 1, but I had 2. So one turn early in the game, I lost in gate over my Rod. Because I thought I had Rod in deck, and then that ended up like I could have won that game at the end if I had a Rod left. Like I'm not sure why he benched Deoxys that turn. That was really bad. Like if I had Rod in my deck, and you probably don't remember because I was playing the games, but like he benched Deoxys the final turn of game 3, and if I had Rod in my deck, I could have impacted Deoxys and had 2 Tina V's, each with 2 energy on them, and then I go to 1 prize card. Yeah. Because I can knock it out without using my V-Star, and then I just checkmate him. But I prized my Rod, and so that wasn't possible. But dude, after game 3, it was I was low. Like I was literally, I was messaging my girlfriend, I was messaging John, I was messaging my parents. I was like, this is so depressing. Like, why am I playing so terribly? Like this is so embarrassing. Like literally, like I play like so much Pokemon and Switch Tina, and then in like one of the few times that it like matters, like this is like a pretty intense stage. Like even whenever you're on stream, like it's not like people are preparing for you to be on stream for like a week, right? So this was like a pretty intense spotlight. And I was kind of trolling under the spotlight, and so I was pretty upset. But I gathered my mental, put it together for the next few games. And then obviously they all went really well. Like Jake didn't draw great. Like there were a lot of games where he just kind of fizzled out. But I think that happens a lot in the match. Like because game 4 he just drew past and instantly lost.
Yeah.
And
it was
then
like I think it was 3 games.
5?
3 games or 4 games in a row of no Mirage Step. It was 3 or 4 in a row of no Mirage Step. So he couldn't get the Mirage. It was close, like 1 card off a couple times. Yeah, couldn't get the Mirage Step together in a couple in a row.
I think it was 3 in a row. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there was one where he stepped for a few, but then it was like he missed, and then he was just behind. And so then he couldn't come back. But I feel like past the first few, I I locked in. I feel like I played really well. I hope I showed Tina. Just I wish I could have won Game 1 or Game 3 because those were very winnable games. Because those were games where I started poorly and I was definitely in them and I was winning the game. I'm super happy to have taken the dub. As Jaylen Brown and the Celtics said, don't let me get one. Don't let me get one. If you let me get one, then I'm coming back and I'm sweeping the rest of the series. So I mean, great games to Jake. Very happy to get to do this, to play against him. I mean, I also overall I feel like Avery was really good. Like I used him in a lot of games, pretty much every game. So I think I showed why I like that card in this matchup. But
that is like
definitely.
Is that the matchup for that card besides maybe like Chi and Pao?
Yeah. No, it's literally in here for this matchup. I mean, the other one where it's okay, and it's okay against Mew, because like Path, Avery, Knockout, like they have 3 Pokemon on board. They have to discard some Genesects, but really it's for the Gardevoir matchup, and it makes it so that if you have a slower start, then you can like take it really slow and like plan your game around like a mid to late game Avery. Like, I guess, like a mid-game Avery, because you can just Abyss Seeking, Comfey, Ninja, build your hand, because they always have to bench awkward Pokemon at first. Like, they usually have Manaphy down, they never have Jirachi down, they usually don't have Crest down, which means that if you kind of just chill in the early game, they really don't want to do anything either, so it gives you time to build up your board, and then you can Avery, Sableye, Curlia, you can have Path in play, and kind of take advantage of them that way. So, yeah, this is the matchup for the card, but, let's go Tina, broken deck, free matchup. Never a doubt.
But going into this, you thought the matchup was like pretty close, right? Like 50-50 or close enough?
Yeah. I mean, I think with Avery, it's like 60. I think it's like favored with Avery. Okay. Without Avery, I think it's like really close.
Okay.
Like,
do you think
50-50, maybe 55-45?
Do you think the Deoxys matters?
Okay, so it was definitely really cool game 1, I think. Like game 1, it was really cool because it was a 2-price attacker that like it just had a situation where it came up. It's got to be bad in the deck. Like he Ultra Balled or traded away so many times. Like if that was just a research and like a Fog Crystal or a research and a Level Ball or something, like whenever he like had it in his hand, or maybe like I don't know if he had them in his hand in games we couldn't step. Like, but if they were consistency cards, I'm sure they would have impacted the game more than the Deoxys did. Like I mean, it attacked a few times, but I don't really think it was significant. It wasn't like something I was super scared of. It's just kind of another attacker that he can put in the active. Like, I mean, if it had like more HP where I couldn't one-shot it, like it'd be really scary.
It
just gets impacted.
It did feel like it set up some checkmate scenarios, but it wasn't like necessary to set up checkmates. Like the Zacian would probably get there in the late game anyways, but it kind of like won the game on board. When
it is nice. Yeah, it takes a lot less energy, right? Like he was able to like, and there were. Oh my gosh, I was so tilted. I wasn't really that tilted, but game 1 when he drew Counter Catcher off his Iono, and he hadn't been doing super well that game, but like that was the only way he stayed in the game was Counter Catcher Iono knockout with Deoxys. So like that is true. Like it has a lot more HP and takes less energy. So I don't know. It probably helps. Like I mean, it did something in those games, but it probably isn't terrible in the matchup. I just don't know if it's better than playing consistency cards in your deck. Like those just might be better. Also, I really think that I don't think Worker's very good. Like, whenever I saw the list he was going to be playing against me, I was even more confident because, like, Worker is really bad against Giratina. Like, it's a path counter, but if you're playing Worker in your deck, that means you're playing, like, less real Stadium outs, right? And so, obviously, it's harder for you to Iono plus Stadium bump that turn.
Yeah.
And generally, like, path bumps are most significant. Like, there's 2 times path bumps are significant. Like, the early game and then like the late game. Like the mid game, they probably hit their path bump, right? Not a big deal. Yeah. But like there's the early turns and then the very end of the game off Roxanne where the path bump really matters. And Worker's like really bad in the early game because like you always want to Iono me those first few turns. You don't want me to keep like my 10 card hand. And so like it's a double-edged sword like of badness because when you play Iono, you have a less chance to draw Stadium because you only have 2. And then if you play Worker, like I'm like that's like great. Like okay, cool, you worked my path. I have a 10 card hand. Like I'm just gonna respond with whatever I want.
Yeah, I think we saw both of those in the early games. You were putting out the early paths, and he had the Workers. But then in like that, the last game there or the one before the last, he workered to remove a path and left you with like that 10 card hand, and then it was just like you got to like that's like the turn where you fully set up your board to be able to respond to multiple things, and you're not just like locked in on one attacker and hoping that they don't get that KO or something, or you draw well off the Ion on the other side.
Also, like, there should really be a research in your Gardevoir deck. Like, that card's just way too good, man. Like, if you don't have a research in your deck, yeah. Oh, I don't know if I ever Roxanne Jake. Like, he was not taking prize cards.
Yeah.
Like, even in the games he was in, he was just avoiding taking prize cards. So I'm not sure if I really ever Roxanned him. But I might have a few times. But, like, if you don't have research in your deck, like maybe you have to play like he did, because if you go into Roxanne range, it's so bad. Like, that's how I win the matchup a lot of times, is like they go into Roxanne range and their deck only has Iono in it, and so like they get Iono and they Roxanne, like they can Iono draw 2 cards and they have like nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I think that Jake was doing a little bit too much Cresseling for not prize cards. In my opinion, there were some times where I had a Sableye in my active and I was like, oh, please hit my Tina, please hit my Tina, like please let this Sableye live, like just let him Sableye again, man. And then he would hit my Tina, and obviously like there's like, you know, there's strategy there and it can definitely work out for him, but I feel like you want to pressure my resources, especially like if I've used any like a rod, or like, you know, I only have one Sableye, right? And so the most important thing in the matchup is forcing me to attack every single turn, and knocking out Shelly is awkward enough for me that I think it's fine to leave a Tina undamaged to take out Sableye. But yeah, I don't know. Super honored to be able to do this. I'm glad that I was able to, you know, put on a decent show. I'm glad it was entertaining at the very least, even if we didn't go for 9 games. I peeped the viewer count at the very end. Looked like it was pretty poppin'. So that's sick.
Yeah, there was quite a few people in here watching. Yeah, definitely enjoy the show. All right, I'm gonna let you go, but do you want to shout out, plug anything? Go ahead, floor is yours.
Yeah, for sure. First thing I want to shout out, if you liked watching me play Giratina and you want to play Giratina, you can come to my Mastering Giratina class this Thursday. I did 2 of them already, and the people that took them, extremely positive reviews. And one thing that's included with the session is I actually give you like a 10,000, I think it's like 10,000, it's a lot of words, document on matchups. And so, you know, you don't have to be lasered into the thing the entire time. I'll give you a matchup document that'll teach you how to play all the matchups if you read through it, which will help you a lot when you're preparing for the regionals. I coach, follow me on Twitter at Isaiah Bradner. And then shout out all the boys, shout out my goat John Eng for winning the regional, shout out my parents and my grandparents and my girlfriend for watching. Love you guys. And my boys on Pain Train as well.
All right, sounds good. Well, yeah, hopefully I plan on doing more of these, so hopefully we'll have you back at some point for some other kind of show match on here eventually. But yeah, thanks for coming on and playing, Bradner, and then I guess I'll see you in Charlotte.
Of course. All right. See you guys. See you, chat.
Right. See you, bud. All right, Jake, let's talk about it. So you had a hot start, and of course you're gonna have some of those games where you're gonna, like, you had those, you opened pretty well in the first couple games. Isaiah more so opened poorly, and then of course, you know, over a long enough stretch of games, you're gonna have some where you're drawing poorly yourself, and that was kind of after the first 3, started to fall apart a little bit for the next couple. Just no Mirage steps, no heavy Ralt starts. Then we got a little bit closer there. The last couple games were pretty close. The game 8, 7, and 8 were pretty close. But how'd you feel about your play, I guess, towards the end there, and kind of like the matchup overall?
Yeah, so I think it was like, especially the last game that we played, game 8. So like the matchup is like, if Tina can get off like an early cram attack, that's like, that really makes a big difference. So yeah, we had the first 3 games where he missed the early attacks and I hit perfect board, and won those. And then the next few, he ended up attacking like before I even stepped, and then I didn't step. And then in those last games, he got the cram attack off. But I was like really close in that game 8, even though I fell behind pretty far. On the next turn, I had the collapse my Jirachi and evolve everything up, so boss no longer wins for him. So if he missed that boss on that last turn, I would have ended up winning that game. But yeah, I think it was, it's really close. I think I've played okay. I'll watch the stream back. I'm not sure. I did my best. I'll say that. I put a lot of thought into every action. You could see how long I was taking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you both were. I expected that though. I expected you both to like drain the clock. Like Bradner was like routinely like using Nest Ball, picking the Pokemon, searching through the deck until the time expired and force that Pokemon onto the bench or whatever. So, I mean, I expected that. I think chat was a little surprised by how long you guys were taking to begin with, but they got used to it eventually. And I was constantly talking about stuff too, so they were reasonably entertained, I think, the whole time. But yeah. Yeah, so it was like pretty rough draws there at the end. So is the I'm actually curious. So I thought Deoxys would maybe come up a little bit more in the early game or mid game, but is it like mostly just kind of like end game attacker for the most part? I think you even mentioned in chat, you just like get some energy on it towards the end of the game, so that way when they go for their Roxanne, you just need the evolution at the end to like close it out.
Yeah, that's where it's really good in the matchup is, yeah, you go down to Roxanne range with a Deoxys already powered up, and then if you have like Ultra Balls left in your deck, then those are outs to the V-Star, or if you can evolve it even before you're playing the Iono and going down to 3, then it's really good. But yeah, it's obviously not for this matchup. I just kept it in because that's what I was playing with. I didn't want to change and also help the like. I didn't want to give like a super teched out list and then try to get a best of 9 out of that, because originally it was going to be 10 games and I win 6 and he wins 4 to win, but we got it down to a best of 9, like giving him a little bit of the edge in the matchup so that we could play best of 9.
Yeah, definitely. So you still think moving forward do you still think Guardy BDIF best deck in format, or do you think it's Tina?
I think Guardy's still the best deck just because of like the Charizard matchup's good. Like I think Charizard or Guardy into Charizard is better than Tina into Charizard.
True.
And then Guardy and Tina are like really close. Like Miraidon's the only issue for Guardy, where if you're playing the Deoxys, it does fix it, and Rapid Strike as well. So that's why I like the Deoxys, just because it makes those matchups, like it flips those ones, and then you have basically even or favorables across the board, but it's obviously not consistency, so you're gonna brick more often, and when you're not using Deoxys, it's definitely a pain because it's sitting there without doing anything.
Yeah. So people in chat are saying, pre the back and forth you and Bradner had on Twitter, you said the matchup was 75-25 for Gardevoir. You're probably beefing up the numbers a little bit for the Twitter cloud, of course. But have you come around since then a little bit? Is it a little bit closer? Maybe still a little bit Guardy favor, but not quite 75-25?
I think the Avery's a very, very big deal.
That's true. Yeah, definitely.
He swung a couple of those games with the Averys. So I think without Avery, Guardy is like heavily favored still. Mm-hmm. And maybe if I cut the Deoxys for consistency cards, then you get into that really, really good range. But I mean, Bradner was playing better than any Tina player, like most Tina players. So I think the matchup from like Tina's side is a lot easier to just throw. Like if you're hitting less experienced Tina players, it's very hard for them to win. But the matchup at like the highest level is probably close to 50-50 once you remove the Avery and add more consistency for Guardy.
Yeah. The Avery was pretty big. The first time he used it, he didn't get the Greninja play. You called his bluff or whatever you want to call it. I don't think he was down the water at that point. So he Avery'd and you're like, all right, I'll keep my 3 or 5 Curlias and like hope you don't have Greninja, and then with the Greninja on that turn. But yeah, the follow-up Avery plays were definitely pretty impactful, especially that one, I think, in the last game, for sure. Even if it's just getting rid of like your Jirachi or your Manaphy, and even if it's not taking advantage of it that turn, it's like now you have to worry about Sableye the turn afterwards, or the potential of the Greninja the turn afterwards. And I think in that game specifically, the Greninja did eventually come up and knock out that Cresselia and Curlia on a later turn. So yeah, the Avery definitely seems like really, really big in the matchup, especially because of like how slow it can play out in the early turns, where it's like sometimes he's just gonna Abyss Seeking for a turn and then play into Avery plus Cram into the potential of the Greninja or the Sableye the turn afterwards.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that like in this matchup in general, and what the Avery does is like it forces the Guardy player to make a lot of like calls on different situations where like if you make the wrong call, you're like especially when a lot of my like missing early and promoting Ralts and hoping to draw an out to Mirage Step and those types of things, like I have to decide if the game's like even winnable. Like if I miss the step, am I like fine just giving up the game? And things like the Avery creates those situations as well with with Greninja, where if like I get rid of Manaphy, I can decide to keep Manaphy and cripple my board, and then I'm maybe still just losing anyway. Whereas like getting that overall odds is difficult.
Yeah, it's always like a really hard call. Do you cripple your board now, or you cripple your board and you play around the Greninja, or just give them the Greninja plan? If they have it, you lose anyways, but if you're going to lose anyways, who cares, right? And then you play towards the more powerful board state if they don't have it, for sure. Yeah, all right. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on, Jake. Before I let you go here, any shout-outs you want to give or anything you want to plug before I head off?
Yeah, I mean, you can just follow my Twitter at Jake Gearhart. Probably everybody in chat already knows where they can find me at this point. But yeah, thank you for having me on. This was a ton of fun.
Of course. I plan on doing more stuff like this in the future, so I'll probably try and have you back at some point. But yeah, it was a pleasure having you, Jake. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too. Good night.
Night.